Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of 8-Bit Bastards. Sorry we were on hiatus there for a week, but we didn't have a lot of new games to talk about. We won't disappoint you with just rehashing the same old garbage. You're not going to do that.
I'm waiting so I can announce my name, then I'm going to take a bite.
You and the food. So, without further ado, we have our special guest, the return of Eric the Red.
Hello.
And, as always,
Jacob.
And
Justin.
And no Brad this evening. He's off doing... Who's he doing?
Brad stuff.
Brad stuff.
Brad stuff.
Who? I said who.
Oh, I don't know if I can say your name.
Oh, okay.
Brad stuff.
Brad stuff. Her name is Brad stuff.
Her name is Brad stuff.
She
Brad
wants
stuff.
Brad stuff.
Brad stuff and stuff Brad's. Brad's. Never mind. Brad
Yeah,
stuff.
I understand. Yeah.
She wants the B.
The B?
The B.
The D.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's
Bees
B.
D?
Want the Brad?
I want the Brad.
Got it.
The hot beef.
Yeah, there you go.
Where's the beef?
Brad's gonna love us.
So, we'll do Act 1 tonight. We're going to let Eric start since he's the guest, and then we'll move into Act 2, which might be a little bit longer this evening than our normal 35 minutes of miscellaneous crap, because I have a ton of movies I've been watching, and we've got comic books, random games, a good what-if question. So, without further ado, Eric, tell us about Katawa Shoujo.
Katawa Shoujo. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm, without trying to sound like a raving weeaboo,
I have a question. Yeah, are you an otaku?
I've cosplayed. Does that count? I don't know.
Are you like really into Japanese stuff?
What language are they speaking?
Otaku,
an
like
otaku
somebody
is
who's
someone who's
really-
obsessed with... Yeah. Someone who's obsessed with Japanese stuff. I just have an interest.
You even said yourself, we've spoken at lengths about this, that you
Yeah.
border the lines.
I always border the lines. That's what I do. That's why I was saying before we started, I always get dragged into the rabid fandoms because I always walk that line. I've wanted to learn Japanese. I like some anime, not all. I don't like the really popular ones. This charming little visual novel was introduced to me in Michigan when I went up. It is free, developed by a company, actually, called Four Leaf Studios, in direct affiliation with 4chan. It was, the idea stemmed back in 2008, and they worked on it forever, and it came out in 2012, early 2012.
What type of game is this?
It's a visual novel. It is not, there's very little actual interaction. It's a lot of reading, a lot of artwork, music, and then every now and then you're presented with a choice.
Do you feel like it's an old school text-based adventure game?
Sort of, without the mind-numbing difficulty, I think. The thing is, though, it is very Japanese. It is set in a high school, and the kicker is, it's about disabled girls, physically disabled women. Exactly. That's what Okay, so
And this is on PC.
This is on PC.
And where would they get this?
The website katawashoujo.com.
Okay, so let me spell that for them real quick. Katawa, new word, Shoujo.
Yep.
Okay, so you go to this website, you can download it on your computer for free, and play as disabled women.
No, you play as a high school senior who has arrhythmia. It opens up, and he's standing in this snowy vista waiting for his love interest to show herself. And she is about to confess her love for him, and he has a heart attack. And has to go to the hospital, and he's absolutely pissed. He's a cynic, and he's like, well, great, any chance of a normal life, I have to go to this special school for disabled kids. And he goes to it, and you have basically different paths you can follow.
You know, they do anime porn like this.
Yeah, actually, the other thing is, this has optional adult content.
I knew it was coming somewhere. Those Japanese, man.
But, okay.
It's XXX everywhere.
No, hold up. I'm not trying to justify it, because it's still there. But normal visual novels, popular, mainstream in Japan visual novels, are freaky. Like tentacle stuff and all that weird stuff. This one is a bit more sensitive. I don't know. It's not...
Conservative?
Yeah, I guess. There's nothing really hard.
I don't think you can put the word conservative in anything
right.
Japanese.
Well, it's not fetishistic. It's not like, oh, I was rubbing her nub, and it's nothing like, it's nothing really like, because, physically disabled women, you got...
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Eric, do you have a thing for Japanese women?
I don't know.
You got yellow fever.
Do you find them more attractive than a European woman?
No, not necessarily.
How about
I think it depends on the woman.
It's not more or less. It's if there's a beautiful woman, then regardless of nationality, she's beautiful. So whatever. As cheesy as that sounds.
Well, like my wife, she has a thing for Asians. Like if she was a
Oh.
dude, she would like Asian chicks.
Okay.
She thinks that they are the most exotic, beautiful women of all.
Brad used to when we were younger. He had yellow fever like a motherfucker.
See, I'm always blonde hair, blue eyes, big tits. That's my
Which
thing.
is funny because there's a character just for you.
But I like
His name's Ralph.
Ralph.
No, she's English. The character that you
Oh,
just
I like the
described.
English accent. That's hot.
Okay, there are 5 characters that you can follow each path. The first one you're introduced to.
And you're the creepy janitor?
No, you're a high schooler.
Oh, okay,
You're a senior, and you're going to the school for your last year after you've been diagnosed with arrhythmia.
What's your name?
Hisao. It's all very Japanese.
Hisao?
Hisao. Hisao.
Okay.
Hisao. There are 5 different characters you can follow. There's a first act, which is just you finding out you have arrhythmia and going to the school. Then you make choices that lead you down 5 or 6. I guess there's a game over path too, like a bad path.
Tell me more about that one. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, that one's hilarious. But you got 5 characters. The first one you're introduced to is a deaf mute who's like super aggressive. Like she's like way into risk and stuff like that. I almost didn't want to say the D word, like domination, but that's not exactly what it is. She's very, she's like head of the student council. She's really go-getting and stuff like that. She has like this super bubbly translator girl always with her signing stuff. Then you get introduced to a blind girl who is Scottish, spoiler alert, sort of, but she's the English one. She's born in Japan, so she's got the accent, but it's all reading anyways, but you said it, so I figured I'd let you know. She's very like charming and upright and very soft-spoken and gentle and kind and all that stuff, but she's blind, and I guess that's her thing. And then the third character you get introduced to is actually her best friend who has burns on the left side of her face, or her body, actually. I think it's the left side. And she's super shy and like really conservative and just doesn't want to talk to anyone ever. And your whole thing is breaking her out of her shell, so to speak.
So these are almost like episodic. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You're going through, and what are you trying to do with each girl?
You're not
trying to get laid with them, or what?
See, exactly. That's how a lot of visual novels and dating sims seem to work. But no, in this one, it's just you. Well, Hisao. It's not told in like it doesn't say when you read it. It's not like you walk up to the school. It's I walk up to the school. It's told in his perspective. He's just trying to like get by. He's trying to adjust to this new life, and he happens to just meet these characters, and depending on the choices you make, you casually hang out with them, and then something connects, and then a conflict, and it's just a story.
Is it always in the high school? Do you go to their houses or out to like a football game?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Or go to a pizzeria or something?
Yeah, a tea house. It's again,
because it's in Japan. It's in Japan.
Well, they have pizza too. They talk about it all the time. But
Do all the girls have giant breasts?
2 of them do.
And they have tiny little waists with short skirts?
It's hard to tell.
What have you been watching?
For the most part,
Anime porn.
for the most part, it's like bus shots. Anyways, like all the main characters are like. Okay, I'm gonna sidetrack here about the visual novel genre. I do really like it. This is my first visual novel. I'm not a big reader, but if I could read something, click through it, and the music changes dramatically to make it seem more intense, I'm really into it. So that's what got me into it. But you also have like, for instance, if you meet the deaf girl, she's standing right there and will have facial expressions, or she'll change her pose in certain ways depending on what she's saying.
Signing.
Saying, yeah. It's a form of talking.
Right, and so that's what the genre is. And again, you have a couple of choices here and there, depending on who you hang out with, what you do, where you go, things like that. That's all you decide on for the most part. There are 2 other characters. One is well, both of them are actually amputees. They're best friends because one's got her legs off, and the other one was born without, like, her forearm and hands. The girl without legs is a runner. Ironically enough, she, you've seen, like, haven't you seen that type of stuff where the people with the prosthetics who are, like, really good runners? And she's super bubbly and, like, positive all the time. And, like, come on, you get to run with me, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And then her best friend is an absolute weirdo. She's the artist. She paints. And
Like her mouth or her feet or something?
Her feet, yeah. She's extraordinarily dexterous, I suppose.
No.
Spoiler alert if anyone's looking forward to that. There's actually none of that, believe it or not. I was surprised. Well, I say surprised. Yeah, there's none of that.
You said
Again,
this had an X-rated part.
It is, but
Are you playing it on the X-rated?
I turned it on because I looked into it because I'm a little bit on Jacob's side. I'm kind of skittish for that kind of stuff, but I heard everywhere that like
Whoa, you mean you're a prude like Jacob?
not to the degree that you guys put him off as.
He is though.
He is.
Like it's like I can watch Game of Thrones
He can.
and whatever, and like I can.
What's wrong with Game of Thrones? I haven't watched it yet.
There's
There's a lot of sex in
There's
it
a
or
lot of
something.
sex in it.
yeah. I can,
Okay, how about Spartacus?
I watched
never-
that.
Because they
I don't
DP
hear
a
that.
girl in that.
Oh,
no. See,
disgusting.
if it's not like if it's almost story related or necessary, like it is in this, it's not like except for maybe a couple times, it's not usually an obligatory. Oh, we're having sex now, and we're going to go ridiculous crazy.
It doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. It adds to the element.
Right, and
Okay.
like I was saying, it's kind of more sensitive. Like it's more intimate, I guess. In a lot of cases, it's high school. You know, a couple of these girls are virgins, and so they kind of play off of that, and you know, yeah, okay, you know, and it's like, oh, I'm so glad we could share this together, sort of thing. When that writing comes up, the general concept, like the goal that you're reaching towards, I guess, once you basically again you go through the first act based on your choices, you are put on a path. You don't actually directly select, oh, I'm going to do this, unless you have like a walkthrough up. And if you're going to follow this story arc, you know, you don't really know. It's the choices you're making.
What's the point at the end of the game? Like graduate high school or?
Pretty much. It's a very slice of life. It's, again, he's dealing with arrhythmia. There's a lot of points in the game or in the story where he'll have a flutter and like everyone freezes and it's really freaky and it...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I got a question. So this is actually in Japanese culture, like people that have problems of any sort actually go to a separate school?
No, this is like a fantasy thing. Apparently, a lot of the artwork is based off of Brown University or some college. Like it's like an English college or something. It's
Well, my question is like he's not politically, I don't want to say retarded, but he doesn't have any like weird, he doesn't have a disability besides he has arrhythmia.
It's because it's a school for people with special needs. That's how they put it. It's I want to go to school, but if I'm going to have a heart attack, I'd like to stay close to a hospital. So there's like a nursing staff at 24/7, and so
If he walks slow to class, they give him more time. He's not required to do PE and stuff like that.
But that's in high school now.
Yeah, but this one is specially.
I guess
informed. Again, it's a fantasy.
It goes
They
with
have
the
a
story.
school
It's
like
just-
that around here.
Well, no, I'm saying like when I was in high school, if someone like there's a kid that I went to high school with, he had one leg. Of course, he wasn't running track, but they didn't.
Right.
He had one leg. He still went to high school with us.
They have the special schools. I don't know what the requirement is because those kids, even the mental kids, are in normal schools.
Well, and that's funny because
Handy capable.
they talk about that too. And I guess the main story idea is that it's not the disabilities that define them. The story doesn't focus on their disabilities. They're just people. The sex scenes don't focus on their disabilities. They're just people, sort of thing.
The sex scenes, so
There is sex. I said that, but it's
well,
not.
no,
like,
it doesn't focus on the disabilities. But if you're having sex with a girl with no legs, you're going to focus on the disability a little bit.
no. You focus on her like
What do
they
you
don't
mean?
even. They barely even mention it. It's you'd have to play it yourself. It's free. 30
I'll
hours,
try,
by the
whatever.
way.
You put 30 hours into it?
30 hours.
Have you beat it?
95%. There's scenes I haven't seen and things like that.
Oh, completionist. But
Yeah.
you beat the game, but you're going back through for different paths.
Right, yeah, I've played every path. Except... No, I've played all of them. The one I didn't get to talk about, actually, was the No Arms girl, who's the artist. She struggles with words, and she's really weird. And I think just for sake of laugh, there's a point, I'll tell you about this. You're sitting there helping her paint or whatever, and she's like, oh, I need to go find my friend to help me. He's like, no, okay, it's okay, I'll help you. And she looks at you with this look of like, you're a weirdo, and it's like, I'm on my period, and even if we were in a part where I would be okay with you doing this, I don't think I want you pulling down my underwear in the girls' bathroom. So, like, and no one else talks like that. She's super weird.
That would make me very uncomfortable.
Exactly. But, that's the one character that you, like, whenever you're reading her arc, you're just like...
She's very blunt and not
Yeah,
meaning to be,
right.
essentially.
Now, you said the music, is it very Japanesey? Are there sound effects and things? Because obviously it's all text-based, you're reading everything, so there's no voice acting.
Every now and then, like I just finished the deaf mute girl's story arc, and she's deaf, so she doesn't realize how loud this can be, but one of the things she does to get people's attention is she snaps, and it's, like, really loud. And so you'll hear a snap in the game.
So if you had headphones on, you'd be like, ah!
Well, as long as you're not blasting the music, it's pretty well equal,
Oh, okay.
But the music sets the mood for a lot of the things. When it's tense, the music sets, and when there's like the big confession or whatever, something happens where you connect, the music softens up, or something really happy is going on, the music gets really popular, bouncy and stuff like that. And you'll hear like, I heard a knock at the door, and you'll hear a knock, or something really simple like that. There's not like constant sound effects. You're not gonna. If what you're asking me is if you hear sound effects during some of the more adult scenes, you don't.
I wasn't asking that at all, man. You went to the gutter there. I was just curious.
But no, now the big thing is, when my friend told me about this, I thought that's what that was. I was like, handicap smut, fetish stuff, no thank you. But I saw it again somewhere, I think it was probably Reddit, and people just gush about this game. About how emotional, like, people... and this is where I start making fun of the fandom a little bit, because there's a whole subreddit. There's an Katawa Shoujo on Reddit. And some of the people on there are like, I have a fiance and a life and a job, and I can't get this girl out of my head from the game. For a reason, though. The stories are emotional. It's not like it's not shallow. You read it and you're like, wow, that's actually a really good conflict with real, actual, well-written emotions. So you will sit there and be like, well, geez, I feel like crap, or wow, I feel, you'll feel, is basically the thing. That's
cool.
And, but some of the people, man,
they go a little too far.
A little bit.
So sequel, the college years?
No, they've already talked about a sequel, and it was more, I guess depending on the story arc you go, there's different, I think that's the big thing. With a lot of games where you can choose different paths, it's really difficult to do a story, a sequel, because then... If you go with this girl and you become this, then you're doing this in your life. It's, an alternate universe. So
how do they make money?
Donations. They, again, it was developed by I don't know the full story, but basically some dude posted a picture of these 5 disabled women on 4chan, and people just latched to it. And since like 2008 up to 2012, they've been working on this, and it's got really good production value. There's even little animations, like anime-looking, good quality animations once you enter in a certain character's arc. So if you enter in with the blind girl's arc, you'll see like this. She's tapping at a teacup, and then you see walking down the road, and it's actually animated, instead of just like the still images. But yeah, I would honestly, again, when I first heard about it, I was like, no way, and then I gave it a shot, and it was just really well written. And if you're into, if you can get over the fact about what it's about and just kind of read it for what it is, it's very good.
Well, you could play a PG-13 like Jacob would, and you wouldn't even have to do that part, and it might not make you feel as uncomfortable.
Right, and again, even most of the dialogue is very not like it makes you feel closer to the characters. It's like, oh wow,
I think this is great though, even as an educational tool, that someone who doesn't like to read, you are invested in these characters. You talk about how emotional they are. You've gone through this story and this ride with them, and that's what any great novelist wants to do. Is they want to immerse you in that world. And I think if this has done that, then it is far beyond just being a video game.
Right.
I think this would be a great example to argue with some of those dipshits that say video games aren't art, because this is obviously comparable to a classic novel or art if it's instilled this much emotion in you.
Yeah, and I love the method. I love the way, I love visual novels. If I can find some that aren't super weird, I would get into them all the time.
They have the comic books, like Marvel Comics does visual, what do they call it over here? The motion comics.
Oh, well, again, my big thing is I don't even care about the visuals. If there's music, if I can click through and hear different music, that engages me more than...
The ones he's talking about, you can see some of them on Netflix, but they're basically not even animation, just stop motion voiced over cartoons, essentially. Okay. You essentially see them panel by panel.
Right.
Heroes had something like that too.
Yeah.
They had like a stop motion comic-esque type storyline and stuff that filled in some of the gaps in between episodes back in the day. It was kind of cool.
But yeah, I absolutely love that kind of method of storytelling now. I didn't know that to begin with.
Would it take away from the game if it was voiced over? You still make the decisions per se, but
I think so, yes.
It's what you kind of think and interpret kind of when you're reading it.
You give the Scottish girl her accent in your head is a little different than ours, so that personalizes it for you. Right?
Which is
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned that because I told, as I was saying or alluding to, the fandom is kind of rabid and they absolutely love it. There's actually a project going on right now to do an audiobook or like a reading, and I can't say I'm a big fan of it. My favorite character, as far as characters go, was the blind girl Lily. She's supposed to be like really really good upbringing, really gentle, soft all the time, and her voice just sounds a little too forward. A little, her voice actors that they have for this is just doesn't hit me right.
What do you mean?
Well,
Because they've got a project going on with someone voice up everything, and I'm just not really big.
what you thought and how you were reading it isn't the way that it's conveying through the other person. So
Right.
it doesn't make
Exactly.
sense. That's like people like with Harry Potter and Percy Jackson
Yeah.
books. The way they read it and the way they interpret it never is how
Batfleck.
Yeah, Batfleck. It's never interpreted the same. Like when people make a movie of it, it never comes over right.
Those people need to chill out, though.
What?
The people that get all upset about that stuff.
Yeah, they're passionate about it.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
It makes sense. I get it because it's the same thing with like Lord of the Rings. Anyone that truly read it, they say the movies are good, but it doesn't compare because nothing compares to your imagination.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Well, and this may be a little
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm about to.
No
this,
pun intended.
This may be a little forward, but I would almost challenge one of you, if not all of you, or any listener to try it out. Maybe go through one of the story arcs. It's like a 5-hour thing, and then come back and say what you thought about it.
Okay. Tell how to say it again.
Katawa Shoujo.
Okay, and it's free, and you go to the website. We'll have it up on our website. I will put it in the notes for Jacob to put on, so you can spell it right, so you can go there and get it. One last thing.
I feel that if I tried to do this, that my wife is going to give me shit about it.
Yeah.
I feel like if I
Don't
sit
do
here-
it in the dead of night, sitting in your boxers alone.
Or
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I'm going to have to forewarn her. This is what I'm going to do for a couple hours. Leave me alone.
well, and it's
Not jerk off time, but I don't want. My wife's bitchy. She'll yell at me for it.
like if it's a big deal, you can turn off the adult content, and even the adult content that there isn't, like, you're not gonna want to friggin' beat off to it. It's like it's
You don't know
It's
Justin
not-
very well.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I like how we agreed. Nice, but no, it's not something that I don't know. That's
Well,
just
okay.
me personally.
Did
I
you ever
guess.
play like Newgrounds games? You ever been to Newgrounds?
Yes,
How they have that?
I actually got voter of the month once way back in the day.
That's awesome. But you know how they had that like sub area for all those weird Japanesey
Yes,
games?
but that's-
it's nothing.
again,
Well, that's my thing. Is like if it does have a sex scene, it's not graphic per se. It alludes, but it's not.
I mean, there's some. You're gonna see some.
you're gonna see
anatomy.
balls and wieners, is what you're telling me.
Why is that? It's not gay.
There's
Like-
a dude. Is there a dude banging a chick?
Why does it have to be gay if you see balls and wieners?
Where's the boobs?
Are you homophobe?
No,
Oh,
but
I'm just saying that there are going to be balls and wieners.
Balls and
somewhere.
wiener.
Actually-
One guy.
There could be janitors around there
a
somewhere.
lot of it's
watching.
The Japanese term is ecchi. It's not.
For dick?
No. Ecchi, like H hentai is like the hardcore porn
Yeah.
in Japan. Ecchi is kind of softcore. It's
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is it more of you see them naked, but you don't actually see like it actually happening?
I think there may be one.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole or make fun of it. It's a legitimate asking because, like I said, if I do this and try the game, and my wife catches me watching basically hentai,
Kids.
she's gonna lose her shit.
Right. That's understandable, I guess. Yeah, I guess the married crew would want to be careful before they went into this, but it's
The
not
guy with
like-
kids.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, definitely. But if you're willing to make that risk, so to speak, I think it's a good story.
Played at work.
I think a lot of people.
Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, I think a lot of people hearing this, if they haven't played it and they think it's weird, just try it out. You may like it more than you think.
All right. Well, thank you, Eric. Appreciate that game. That's awesome. I think that's good. Something different here. You want to go next, Jake?
Sure.
All right,
Warrior.
Jacob.
How you
Going to tell
gonna
us
follow that
about
up?
Mech-warrior Online.
Clean it up for us.
Mech-warrior Online. Have you guys ever played a Mech-warrior game?
Any robot?
No.
No
Oh, I guess
robot.
You fuck up robots.
I like what you did there.
I guess you could teabag a robot.
Can you
Do
do
crouching.
Can that be the
In-
episode?
in,
Teabagging robots. Oh, that's funny. Are you okay with that?
I don't know if iTunes would be. Oh, I think it would. I got teabag.
We put T. We put T.
Let me clarify something. When I give you guys crap about a title. I think more about iTunes.
I understand.
Oh, I don't want to hear that nonsense.
I understand. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about Mech-warrior Online.
Have you guys played Mech-warrior?
I played Mech-warrior
Lone Wolf?
Lone Wolf.
That was a good one.
It was okay.
It was okay.
The first one I ever played was
Don't hit the table.
Mech-warrior Mech Assault 2. It was on PC.
PC.
That's the one I played.
This one is similar. The way they've changed one drastic thing from what I remember from the Mech-warrior games. I could be wrong here. You don't hold W to move forward. You tap it a couple of times to press on the gas, and you let go, and you run. You do the same thing for running backwards. That way you can be turning and shooting things without having to hold down the W. You have 6 different groupings for your weapons. You have 2 weapons on your left arm, 2 weapons on your right, 2 on your torso. So you can group them in different ways to shoot 2 lasers and a missile in one group, and you're just kind of switching between those. Trying your best to use the weapons that don't generate as much heat, because if you generate too much heat, your rig shuts down. So you
That's
can
typical.
Yeah, you can shoot 2 lasers at first for kind of cover fire, because you don't generate much heat. You're using that just to do a little bit of damage, and you use that as like your first grouping. Your second grouping you can use as like a bunch of missiles and maybe a ballistic weapon to do a lot more damage. And you have 6 different groupings, so you can group those weapons however you want. And then there's something called an Alpha Strike, which is just all of your weapons at once.
Oh, that's all like a barrage.
There's a guy in the video who just uses lasers.
What are you talking about, video?
Tutorial.
Oh.
I watch all the tutorials, and I did play.
Is this, okay,
There's a lot of
this is obviously
tutorials.
PC.
This is PC.
Where'd you get it?
I don't know if it's
Steam?
available on Steam. I should have checked that.
Is it beta?
No, I got it from MWOmercs.com.
It's actually out.
Yeah,
Full
as far as I
version.
know. I just downloaded it and started
It's free?
playing.
How do they make money?
That's the thing. Okay, every week you get light, medium, heavy mech, and an assault mech, which is just a giant fucking tank. And every week that changes, much like League of Legends, all those kind of stuff. The free games, they give you new stuff every week. The hero mechs are anywhere from $30 to $50.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it's pay to win, essentially. If you want to put the money into it, that mech is gonna
Annihilate?
Yeah.
It's
If I
gonna
paid
do
$30 fucking
it's
for
gonna
a
do
mech,
Yeah.
that's half a video game, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
I better be getting
also-
some shit out of it.
It's visual.
You
because
would
all-
pay for stuff in WoW for that.
Oh, fuck yeah. If they're like, oh, here's $30, you get all this shit. Yeah, definitely.
Some stupid mount for $30 would not be worth it in WoW, I'm sorry.
Oh, for a mount? No.
Is that
For a
one mount one time you were like, oh, it's a $20 mount. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
For that special dragon or whatever.
Yeah, the gold dragon, the Heart of the Aspects.
Well, they got that past the.
All right, I'm sorry to take us off track. Go
yeah.
ahead. Mech-warrior Online. Free, pay to win.
I
Keep
don't
going.
know if it's pay to win because they're not drastically better.
Why
Wait,
the
is-
fuck would you pay $50 for something like that?
No, you're right, and that's what I don't get. I don't know what they do specifically, but you can like League of Legends. You can play a lot and have enough money to buy them just from in-game money. It's mostly visual. All the cockpits are different.
You said cock.
You said pit.
There's one mech that's kind of weird because you're sitting at an angle in the mech, so you're kind of looking at it at an angle. And I think some of the mechs just have clearer cockpits than others. I can't say it
Cockpits?
straight.
You said cockpicks. That is on. That has been recorded. You said cockpicks.
What is that even?
Yeah. I'm so glad this is where
What's
these
a
jokes are going.
cockpick?
What is that even?
dick pic? You don't know what a dick pic is? You said cockpit. The episode's cockpit.
You know what? I don't even. Never
Cockpick.
mind.
We can put that on there. That can be the episode name.
I'm so glad that this is where all the jokes are coming from.
Yeah.
Not from the very
Not the porn
obvious-
anime game, but from Mech-warrior.
But what I was saying before about that one guy with all the lasers, he had
Cockpick
6 lasers.
at an
Shut
angle.
up.
Cockpick at an angle. That's the
But
name of the
it's
episode.
funny to watch, like, he runs up on a mech and uses his cockpit.
He's slamming.
Stop slamming. They won't hear my obnoxious
Sorry, I
laughing.
had to. But he runs up on the mech and the mech's kind of damaged, and he hits Alpha Strike and just boom! This one huge laser destroys the thing.
I can think of sharks every time you say laser.
Why?
Laser beams attached to
Laser
it?
beams. Laser.
Yeah, I'm.
Austin Powers.
Oh, I
look
haven't
at me
seen
like
those
that.
movies in forever.
I thought you say I haven't seen those movies. I'm gonna
No,
slap
of course
you.
I have.
What, Eric?
When you said a giant, like when you said something about him having all lasers, I was really hoping something more like a dance party than like a bunch of just ridiculous lasers instead of one giant Raiden laser riding.
So is this game just Mech-Warriors MMO?
No, it's
PvP?
it's per match, like a Call of Duty kind of thing. You load up your match.
Oh.
Is it basically like World of Tanks, but in mechs?
Sure, yeah.
Essentially.
I like Mech-Warrior. I think this. I mean, it's really complicated, just from having to group your weapons, the heating. Lasers don't generate a lot of heat, and I think they can cut off. Like you can cut their arms off, and they can't use those weapons anymore. Ballistics penetrate armor a lot, and missiles just do a lot of damage but generate a shitload of heat. There are tons of different kinds of missiles and ballistics and lasers, and you have to equip them in a certain way. You have to worry about your weight. They all have different top speeds. There was one video I was watching, the guy had his missiles arranged in a sort of way that he could sit where no one can see him, lock onto a mech, and just shoot barrages of missiles. And it's pretty crazy to watch.
So what is the terrain? You're saying he can be hidden and stuff. Are you in a giant abandoned city, or are you just out in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know if there's cities, but there's forests, there's snows, there's mountain. I haven't seen a city map yet. That would be interesting. But I like the mech games. This is for a pretty hardcore mech fan.
Can you get out of your mech?
No.
Or is it only in mech? Like
Only in mech.
You can't hop out and like jack another mech or anything like that.
No, that would be awesome.
Grand
You could do that in
Mech.
Lone Wolf.
Yeah, Lone Wolf you could. Well, there was different grades of mechs.
Yeah.
You could have the little one where you could just run really quick, jump onto another mech, and then get out and take it over.
How realistic is the world if you are overheating and there's water, you drop in the water, it drops your heat faster or anything?
The thing that I don't
think you can go in
understand.
water. I haven't seen much. There's mechs with jetpacks. Like I said, there's different grades. So like the light mech is very light armor, runs really fast. He's the scout.
Is it just death battle? I mean, it's just our
Team
first to
deathmatch.
50
Capture the point.
Capture the point.
Yeah, mainly King of the Hill type thing.
King of the Hill, that's what you play?
Yeah,
There are different ones, though.
I think so. I just been loading regular quick matches.
Hey, does the weather matter? Is there weather? Like, does it get rainy and you get, like, a windshield wiper, snow, or anything?
Snow, but it doesn't affect anything. I don't even think it actually snows. I think it's just snow on the ground.
Doesn't even slow you down or anything?
No.
This game sounds very generic for a 2013 game. Like, it seems like it should have come out in 2005.
There's a lot to it gameplay-wise. There may not be a lot as far as stuff like that, but gameplay-wise, like I said, this is for really hardcore mech people.
So somebody that actually wants to be a mech warrior.
Yeah.
So would you say it's like more arcadey rather than no?
No, it's
Is it
pretty
like something you'd
realistic.
want to hook up like an entire actual
Yes.
rig as a controller
This
to
is
play?
for somebody who likes Ace Combat. Because I have a friend of mine who loves Ace Combat. He loves like the really realistic simulator type games, and I keep telling him he needs to play this. I think he would greatly enjoy it. It's a really tough game. Like the community is really tough. They're really serious. So far, they're not really all that toxic. Because a lot of free games have very toxic, very mean players. These are people just, go play somewhere else. But they're not really mean. Like,
It's the internet.
He knows what I'm
Everyone's
talking about.
fucking
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, because everybody's a badass behind their keyboard.
yeah, exactly.
Everyone's mean on the internet.
I'd punch
And there
you in
are
the
some
face.
games, like, I don't know how deep Dota is, but League has, like, the most toxic community ever.
Again, a lot of those free games do. Dota has
Yeah.
that too, where if you don't do something exactly like someone else would, they're like, you don't know how to play. This person has this at this much time. Uninstall Dota and report him
I've
because
had
of it.
people tell me to kill myself.
Yeah, stuff like that. But how is that in Mech-warrior? Like
It
in
doesn't
comparison?
seem that bad. I mean,
Was that you?
What, laughing? No, I didn't. No, I don't
Like
play-
you're on League of
You should
Legends.
fucking
though.
kill yourself. No, I wasn't me. I just
Are
think
you
it's
trolling
funny.
him?
No.
I think there's more adults playing Mech-warrior because it's such a tough game.
I don't see the logic behind that. And
It's a really complicated game, so I think kids would be like, I won't bother.
but adults wouldn't want to invest the time into it. I'd think. Is it popular? Is it like?
Yeah, it seems to be
Okay.
pretty popular. It's Mech-warrior. It's got a name behind it.
Even still, the Mech-warrior games fucking sucked. Like, realistically, they all blew. Like, they
Lone
weren't
Wolf was
really
good.
They were. See, Lone Wolf
Nah.
was okay. That's the thing. Like, the best game on a realistic scale was mediocre. It was like, oh, okay.
They've never gotten to, like, the Call of Duty status. They've always been there, but they've never, like...
Yeah,
It's a cult following.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So why wouldn't I just want to play Titanfall? Because that game looks amazing.
It's not out yet. That's my only retort.
Okay. So, Justin, let's move on to Dreadout.
Dreadout? Oh, okay. Well, we can do the other one later. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Dreadout is Chris came up when I was working, and we got into a weird thing because we always talk about Silent Hill and Resident Evil games because those are the games me and him only agree on essentially. And he always keeps telling me to play Fatal Frame, and I've never played Fatal Frame. And then he told me about this other one that was called Dreadout. Him and I sat and watched the demo playthrough, and the game literally looks fucking terrifying. Like, we watched like the 20 to 30 minute playthrough of it, and me watching it with the guy like kind of narrating, it kind of scared me. Like, I was worried about the shit that was going to pop out.
Okay, so Dreadout is a survival horror.
Survival horror.
On
and
which system?
PC.
All right, playing on PC.
Yeah.
Where would you get it?
I don't think it's actually out yet. It's actually, they're only in their demo form, essentially. I don't know. I haven't read too much about it, but
Oh, it's not out.
I don't think it's out yet.
So you're getting a demo.
Get a demo. It's an Indonesian game, so all like the lore and stuff is Indonesian, like the different weird types of demons and all that type of stuff you have to deal with, and ghosts. Same thing with Fatal Frame. And essentially, like, what happens is you wake up, you're this girl named Linda, and you wake up in a room. You have no idea what's going on. Like, you usually wake up in the middle of, like, a weird, like, village. There's a phone just ringing next to you. So you pick it up, and, like, this phone is, like, it's like your friend or something that answers the phone. Oh, I can't hear you. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. The phone hangs up, and it's, like, a clear phone, which is really cool. And you pick up the phone, and you see through the phone's and you can walk around and stuff like that. But that's how you see ghosts, is you have to pull this phone up to your face. And if it's not, you won't see ghosts around you unless you pull up that phone. And it's fucking terrifying. Yeah. Absolutely terrifying.
That's how Fatal Frame is.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it plays a lot like Fatal Frame. Cool. Is that's the way you interact with the ghosts. And the cool thing is when a ghost's around, not because you can see them, because like your screen will start to change like a reddish color. There's a part in the demo where you have to go through this wall, and the guy couldn't figure out the part of the wall he had to actually sneak into, and it starts turning red. And then, like, he pulls up his camera, and there's a fucking ghost in his face, and it starts screaming and shrieking at him. It scared me. And like I said, I was watching a demo, and it doesn't have like a scary factor as much as like that jump factor. Like, oh shit, what's there? You go through the wall, and you up into another like room area, and then you see a classmate. She's just standing there staring at you, and then she just kind of walks off. And like the girl's like, hey, what are you doing? How do we get here? Blah, 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 blah. And the girl just, like, turns, walks off. The typical weird, scary shit. You follow her into a room, and she has her back turned in a corner. And as you walk into the room, the fucking door slams, and she disappears. So, like, the girl turns around, and the guy picks up the phone, and there's that crazy, shrieking face, and it scares you to death. Like, that's how you die. You get scared to death. And the death scene is you wake up in a pure black room with candles around you, and the way you have to keep going is you have to walk into the light. It was actually really, really freaky. Like, there's a room where you walk into, and there's like a teddy bear being hung, and it's all this like weird, like Silent Hill-esque type, like gross walls type shit. It's really cool though. You had a question?
As soon as you mentioned the phone, I actually thought of two. One, can you get an optional Ghostbusters ringtone for that phone?
I don't think so, but that would be pretty cool.
But no, two, the sound's actually, you said Fatal Frame, that's on the Wii, isn't it? Like,
Fatal Frame is on PS2. I think they have a Wii. I have to have one on.
There is a Wii version.
I think because when you mentioned the phone, I think this would be good for the Wii U, or at least it could be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, that'd be terrifying. It's when we go to break, I'll show you guys a little bit of it. But it was, and we watched some of the Fatal Frame stuff too. And that's how it plays. There's a part where she gets to after she comes back from the dead. She walks through, finds the part, and it's not literally you come back from dead. Like, you just start from your little
Did you die on purpose? Is that part of the story?
And that's the thing, is it's weird. That's not part of the... Well, I mean, it can happen, but if you don't go that way, then it won't happen.
Oh.
And, like, there's a part where, like, a cat... Like, you see this cat, and all you can see is its eyes, because it's pitch black, and the cell phone is your flashlight. So how you move the cell phone and how you turn is how you see everything, and then you can bring it to your face to see ghosts. Go ahead.
Is this a point-click adventure survival horror game?
No, it's mouse and keyboard. Like, you move with WASD and stuff like that.
How does this look? Does it look like Resident Evil? Does it look like Dead Space? I mean, what does it look like?
I would say it kind of looks more like Dead Space, and I say that in the sense of camera. The camera angle and the way the person walks is kind of Isaac Clarke-y stiff.
Like, is it third person?
It's third person, yeah.
Okay.
And the cool thing is when you bring it up, it actually has really good graphics. Like, you can see the detail in her fingernails, like the creases in her fingers, and like she'll bring it up, and then that's her point of view. And you can walk like that. You just can't open doors. And
how do you fight?
Your camera. That's what I was getting to. You get to the next part. The cat part isn't really a big deal, but you get to the next part, and there's this shrine, like this weird like monster hanging over it that's like frozen. It's not a monster, like a weird like shrine essentially. And there's these 3 candles. One of them's lit, and then as the guy keeps exploring, these other monsters come out and start like trying to hack at you, and they're following you. You have to pull up your camera and take pictures of them, like how Fatal Frame was. In Fatal Frame, the camera was the special kind of camera that actually sucked the energy out of the ghosts. In this one, it's kind of the same way. It doesn't really explain it because it is a demo. And, like, they catch on fire and then they disappear. And the way, like, you interact with stuff is the camera. Like, you take a picture of the flame and you can flash the flame onto the other candles to open up that puzzle. It's puzzle-based. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. And like I said, I'll show you guys, kind of what I'm talking about. Probably not giving it any justice by explaining it, but if you get a chance to ever watch it, it looks awesome.
Well, I mean, you haven't played the game. I think you're doing a pretty good job of enticing all of us to play this. Yeah, no.
It's it really is creepy. Like, it was legitimately creepy. Like, as you watch it on YouTube, there's a guy in the corner kind of talking about what's going on, how he's doing it, and he has headphones on, so like he's like freaking out, and you don't really hear the sounds as well as he does. So if you were playing this in the dark, you would probably be on edge the absolute entire time. Like, it's more scary looking than like Slenderman or Amnesia or any of those other horror-esque games. For me, anyway. That's how it looked to me, because I've seen all of those, and I actually want to play them, but I just never got around to play them.
So how much do you think it'll cost?
No more than $20-$30. I mean, it's not anything extravagant. It's I wouldn't say indie game, but it's from like, I wouldn't say a well-known publisher.
It's an Indonesian publisher.
Yeah.
So,
like Amnesia, $20.
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, I couldn't imagine more than $30.
Do you want to talk about
Diablo?
So I've got one,
go ahead.
One last question about this. Was it like Kickstarted or anything? Was it on Kickstarter?
I have no idea. It went on with you.
I read it was through the Greenlight project that Steam does.
Okay,
is how it got its funding.
Like I said, the graphics on it are amazing. Like, I wouldn't say like there are no Crysis 3 graphics, but I mean, you can, like I said, you can tell the graphics in her fingers and all that stuff. But it's pretty creepy.
Diablo 3? Console version?
Amazing. I played it on PC a little bit, and granted my PC is shit, so it didn't play it well. But the game really does feel designed for a console.
It should have been designed from the beginning.
From the very beginning, yeah. If you like Baldur's Gate, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like anything of that type of genre, you'll
Torchlight.
Torchlight, yeah. It is amazing. 4-player, local, 4-player, online.
I'll say I played Diablo 3 quite a bit on the PC. I did like it. I don't like it as much as Diablo 2 or Torchlight 2. For whatever reason, it is way better on the console.
It plays.
I didn't think I was going to agree with you guys. I really didn't.
I spoke with my buddy Nick, and he is a giant Diablo 3 fan. Like, that's all he plays. And we were actually talking, and I was like, why don't you get it on console? And he's like, fuck that, I'm not buying the game twice, blah, 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 blah. He bought it yesterday for his Xbox because he played the demo. And it works. It really does work.
I think the defining characteristic is 2 things. The biggest and most important thing is your attack and your move are not the same button anymore.
Yep.
To where you don't have to click to move and then click to attack. And even if you map your buttons to use your special powers, your main attack that doesn't use your stamina or use your rage or whatever, those things you would have mapped to your keys, but you still have to do your other attack.
Your main
attack would be the click. So you're just, like we've talked about before. I know I've hated on Diablo 3. Click, 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 click. It's click 3. That's what I associate the game with. You can now move with the joystick and attack with a button, and that is huge. The second main thing is you have a dodge.
Yep, you have a roll.
You can roll out of the way. So it feels like all the other video games where you have the ability to get out of the way.
I do love that. I found that on accident. The dodge, I hit the other stick, the dodge, and I was like, oh! It was just amazing.
It really makes the game as a melee player, because I feel ranged in that game is a little bit overpowered, and I say that with the Witch Doctor, the Demon Hunter, and the Sorcerer.
I played the Sorcerer
because realistically, you don't have to be hit. Like the Demon Hunter, he has evasion. He can backflip out of the way of everything. When you get high enough level, obviously. But I mean, you could realistically never be hit as a Demon Hunter, and they do crazy amounts of damage because they're essentially a class cannon. But as a Barbarian, which is able to take the hits, you're going to get overwhelmed eventually, and you won't be able to hit your heal quick enough or something. You can dodge out of the way. You can do all that essential good shit.
I was going to make a quick joke, but you guys have kind of...
No, you can go ahead. We'll jump back to your joke.
Because he said, you called Diablo 3 Click 3. So are you saying that onward of the console it went from Click 3 to Click Free?
That's good.
I'm sorry.
Or Roll 3.
Yeah. No.
We're rolling with our homies now.
I'll excuse myself now.
No, that was funny. That was good. Damn, I didn't think of that. You're fired. No more guests for you.
I gotta agree with those two little things. They're very minor things, but they are game-making things.
They're annoying as shit.
They're game-changing. I want the game, but I don't want to spend $60 because I've already given Blizzard my money and wasted it on Click 3 on the PC. And I want Diablo 3 on my console because it's awesome. I mean, we played it, through the Skeleton King there.
Yeah, we went through Act 1.
Yeah, we went through Act 1. I had a blast, and, and we just played it on normal mode, and, I died, and you saved my ass, and it was a lot of fun. And, I was playing... And we weren't even playing we were just messing around so we'd have something to talk about because I hadn't played it on console and I wanted to have something to compare it to. And we weren't worrying about story, we weren't about drops or anything. We were just kind of blasting through it. And I was playing a class I didn't even care about because I don't think I would ever play the monk. I would play a wizard or whatever because that's what I always like to play as. And I think I'd have even more fun with something I actually liked.
Right.
And I had a blast.
Well, the cool thing is the scale between levels. Like, let's say you've been playing at level 10... You're level 10, you want me to start off level 1 because I don't have, a character on your account, whatever it is. I could get to level 10 fairly quick. Like, it boosts the XP so you can get that person closer to
That's cool.
the players in the party. So you're not, I mean, there has been an incident where I went and played with a buddy of mine.
You got owned.
I got fucking destroyed because they were all ranged characters and I was the melee character, and we got into Act 3 because they wanted to power level me, essentially. I was at level 13, a level 26 area. People would look at me fucking wrong, and I would explode off the edge. Like, I would get hit literally by these fireballs that would shoot off, and if I didn't dodge quick enough, my monk would literally explode, and his skeleton flew off the edge of the cliff. It was fucking annoying. But, I mean, I gained 5 levels within the first 3 minutes. Just because
that's pretty neat.
It's awesome, and the loot drops are way better than what they were on PC.
Well, they've modified it through the patch updates. The loot drops they knew were really low, and we're playing with the newest version of it.
Yeah,
the console version.
PC has loot 2.0, is what I understand, because like I said, my buddy Ron plays the shit out of it on PC. The console one has 1.5. It's not as good yet as the PC version, but it's not as shitty as how the PC version was when it first came out, where you literally saw no good drops. It was all whites.
As soon as this has a sale, I'll give Blizzard some more of my money, but I'm not giving another $60 because they raped me by buying the stupid PC version. But as soon as PlayStation Plus members get a discount, or Xbox One, Microsoft is like, we need to sell more Diablo 3 on our console than PS3, or it gets ported over to PS4 or Xbox One, I'll buy it again.
It's getting a port to PS4. I don't know about Xbox One. They've even said it's going to PS4, but they haven't. If everyone I know bought it, there's not a single person I know that does not have it besides them and you.
Well, do you guys plan on getting on a PS4?
I don't know, because I'm at this weird quorum.
You're getting an Xbox One.
Well, I'm getting an Xbox One. I'm getting an Xbox One, but I'm getting probably Christmas time I'll get my PS4.
If they're available.
I'm getting
What about you? Are you going to wait, or are you going to go and get it for $360?
If there's a sale, I'll get it.
Right, that's true.
If there's a sale, I'll get it. Yeah. But if I can wait, I'll probably wait for the better console. I don't know why.
I'll probably wait, but I agree. If it's on sale and I happen to have the money...
No, I lied. I'm not going to buy it. Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out, and that will consume me until November. Until November 17th and November 22nd, all I will play is probably GTA 5. And that's why I'm going to take a second to talk about this, is we're going to introduce bonus round episodes, hopefully, to you as listeners, where they won't be full episodes, but they will be little bonuses where we talk about just books, comic books, movies, TV shows, and things like that. Wrestling.
No wrestling.
And we won't really talk about games because we won't have any new games to talk about, and we don't want to just sit around and rehash more Diablo 3 because you've already heard us talk for 20 minutes about Diablo 3. So we'll have bonus round episodes that are short, sweet about other things because I will be consumed with GTA 5. It's it's only I'll probably play for a good month or two because I loved the fourth one. I thought it was fantastic, mostly single player, but
I got the Galaxy Tab 3 now. Grand Theft Auto Vice City's on there. That's fairly tempting. I'm kind of
Fuck
curious what
that.
it's like on the tablet.
There is no good port to any handheld. If you have to play anything on a touchscreen, they fucking. I need a controller in my hand.
I got one game that is a good, and it's one of my all-time favorite games. Bastion for mobile device is amazing.
Really? I don't have to look for that.
It probably plays well, but the controller probably sucks.
No,
I hate
they
it.
custom made the controller just for touch. You can choose to have the whole digital
The
thumb
weird-
pad thing.
see, that's
but
the
no,
thing.
they have something custom for people who don't like that, where you can touch and he'll go and he'll auto attack or whatever. You know,
that's cool.
It feels
Yeah,
really good.
Final Fantasy and Grand Theft Auto and all kinds of stuff on there.
On the App Store, they have ass tons of. If you go to Square Enix's thing for iTunes, the games they have on there, they have Secret of Mana, Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger.
have you played Final Fantasy Ascension? It's $20 on the Droid and probably the iPhone, and it was a custom made Final Fantasy game in Japan for just handhelds or for phones, and it's a whole new Final Fantasy game. And I think it's Final Fantasy Ascension is what it's called.
Yes, it is. I saw it on the marketplace.
It's $19.99. It looks amazing.
Okay, there were two Final Fantasy games I saw came out for mobile. One
Yes.
was really weird and had like 1,000,000 of the characters flying on the screen or something during battles. The other one was more like an actual...
Yeah, this is
its
8-bit,
own-
old school.
Yeah, I heard mixed things about it. If I had...
You haven't played it.
I haven't played it.
Okay.
I have a Evo that I use pretty much as a dedicated mobile gaming. Like if I ever want to play a mobile game, I use my Evo.
I just don't want to blow $20. I mean, it's a lot for a handheld game.
Square Enix won't get over that. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's my thing. Is
Final Fantasy is $14.99.
$14.99.
Like Final Fantasy 1, like the first one.
Yeah,
And it's,
I would pay $4.99.
1 through 4, I just looked at it, are $14.99.
Well, 3 and 4 at least are the DS versions. There's 3D graphics, and so that I can understand a little bit.
You know what I was disappointed by? They don't have Tactics. They don't have the Tower Defense one on there.
Song Summoner? Not Song Summoner. I know which one. Crystal Defenders.
Yes. Those are the two I would
But
want
if
to
they
play.
sold all of them for $20 or $30 and you got like all 4 or 5 of them, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But I'm not spending $15 for one game. Hell no.
Especially something like Final Fantasy 1.
Now they do I know on iTunes they're really good about, because I had an iPhone a long time ago, they do sales where you get them 50% off and you can get them for like $6 or $7, which is still a little overpriced, I think, but it's much more reasonable.
Secret of Mana is only $8.99.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've never played that.
How much? What was that? Final Fantasy 3, and how much is it? $15.99. That's ridiculous.
World Ends With You. I know you're big in the Japanese culture. Did you ever play that on DS?
I haven't had a chance to.
Amazing.
That's
it
what I
really
hear.
is. $20, $17.99.
A friend of mine said it was really good, so...
It is really good. It's hard to play because it's so based off of Japanese culture and Japanese like clothing brands, because they give you actually different powers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
That,
'cause,
that
like,
not so much,
if you wear a specific shirt from a specific brand, it'll give you different like fighting powers, and it's a really cool game. But you have to know a lot.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say a lot, but it would help you.
Like modern culture. See,
modern culture.
When I hear Japanese culture in video games, I think okami or something like that. Something with the traditional
Okami?
Okami.
Like the old like dynasties.
I never
and
heard
shit
of
like
it.
that.
That's
Are you talking about Okami the dog?
yes, but without the American inflection you're giving. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I apologize. I've never heard of sentence.
No, yeah,
that
Okami.
way.
The Konami or Capcom. It's basically like if you guys haven't played it, it's a Zelda game, but it's like better. A lot of people have said it's better than Twilight Princess. Even
One of my favorite Marvel vs. Capcom characters.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to finish off games here real quick, like a few minutes. Get us back on track here. So I played Metro 2033, and I talked with Justin about this, and it just feels like a very generic shooter. I know everybody will probably bash me. You're the biggest idiot. For not liking this game. It just feels so dated. And that's what I told you.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I mean, it's the story that in the second one at least, in Last Light, that really made the game for me was the story.
Yeah, I feel like this it does nothing original, and the one thing that was cool, I thought was the dumbest thing ever, was that I like the uniqueness of using the bullets as currency, but they're basically encouraging you to not use your really kick-ass powers because the apocalyptic cartridges for your guns and things are really shiny and pretty. That you use that as currency. You know, like you use caps in Fallout or something. You use the cartridges as the bullets as your money, but you can also use them as actual bullets, and they're way more powerful than the homemade stuff. And so that's what's disappointing is they're encouraging you to not use your awesome bullets and use the crap bullets, and I just thought that was kind of dumb. I understand the logistics of it. That's very, very realistic, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I was bummed with that.
That's actually one shooter that I've played. I got into it a little bit, and I can, like, at a game design standpoint, I can understand that. It's maybe there's a late game implication, like later on you have so many shiny bullets you don't know what to do with them, and you're pretty much, a rich bitch and whatever, and you're just shooting them off anyways.
If it's anything like Last Light, because I only played the second one as opposed to playing the first one, no, it's not like that at all.
Well, then I don't know.
But here was my thing, and I was trying to explain to him, is that the bullets, like, I never actually used my currency. So I don't know how strong it was, but I could put anyone down pretty quickly. I mean, you could get headshots. One shot, even with a shitty bullet, you're going to kill someone.
I didn't really find any redeeming factors. I really didn't enjoy the game at all. I had to put the subtitles on because the accents are so hard to understand. They have people talking. You're walking through the hallways of the metro, and people are talking all the time, and you can't hear anything, which is ridiculous. The graphics are a little bit dated because it is an older game. The controls are solid. That was really, I guess, one good thing. The weapons feel like they're nerfed. They feel like Nerf guns because I didn't feel like I could put anybody down. And damn, is ammo scarce. I mean, I was running out of ammo all the time. It seems very linear. I mean, you're basically in hallways the whole time, so there's no sense of exploration. The world feels very, very small to me.
Is there the stealth element in the same...
I haven't got to that part.
Okay.
It feels like a very standard shooter. The story is a little bit confusing what's going on because I haven't played it that much. I'm only a few hours in. I did actually laugh out loud when they're sitting around at one point all drinking, and it sounds like they're gargling mouthwash. And I thought it was kind of funny, the beginning of the game and stuff. It feels very generic, and I don't know why everybody was slobbing the knob on this one.
I have no idea. Like I said, I never played that one. I went straight to Last Light. That might be the best bet. Just jump straight to Last Light.
Jump straight to Last Light. That's what I think. Real quick, no, I'll do that game and miscellaneous random games. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to watch some stuff on the Dreadout game. So go do the same. Unless you're driving. Don't do that. Hello, and welcome back. So we're going to do 30 minutes of miscellaneous crap, and I got a lot of movies to talk about. Got our what if question, random games of the week, and a whole bunch of miscellaneous crap. So our what if question tonight is, what if you were sucked into a horror game, what world and why? We picked 4 different ones, and we'll try to touch base on all of them. You want to start? It's your question.
They're all always my questions.
You're good at these. It's your segment.
Nope, Jacob's going.
Jacob, what world would you go?
Get off your fucking tablet.
What was the 4 we had? I thought we...
Yeah,
I would probably choose Doom.
You would go into Doom? Why?
Because I could equip myself, I could get some body armor, and probably survive.
It's hell.
Doom. I beat Doom, though.
You were Doom guy. You're now Jacob guy.
Yeah, you were a Marine. It's like if they took you right now and threw you there. And you have to survive 24 hours.
I feel like I could survive because I know how the demons act.
We never do these enough. Like, what Doom game? Like, fucking Doom 1 through 3? Or 1 through 2? I could do those fucking blindfolded. Doom 3 would not want to be there. Fuck that.
That was kind of my thought. Doom 1 and 2 I'd be fine with. But Doom 3...
Yeah, so we're going to do Doom 3.
Okay. Well, I've already picked Doom. So that would be the one I'd go with.
You think you could survive?
Probably. As long as I didn't have to run too much.
You have demons chasing you.
You have the spawns of hell trying to kill you.
If I pick any other game... It's the same crap. There's going to be something terrible trying to kill me.
Yeah.
So
But you think Doom is the best chance of surviving?
Because I know it the best.
That's a good argument.
I guess so, yeah.
I know how the demons act. I know which ones fly. I know which ones shoot shit. I know...
As someone who doesn't play very many, I don't know if we actually did write down Amnesia, but that's probably the one that I'd go with, because, again, I know that one the best. That, and it is legitimately just one very scary, very, very scary thing chasing you, instead of an entire teeming hellspawn.
But isn't, like, the thing that chases you in Amnesia, like, very aggressive? Like, he goes, like, the little monster, whatever it is?
Not in the early game. I haven't gotten too far into it. Or at least I haven't beaten it. But I mean, it's terrifying. I think I would be able to have my wits about me. Like, when I play it, I don't actually get too freaked out. But obviously the guy in the game does. So I think I'd be able to handle it a bit better than anything else. What were the other ones that you wrote down?
No, that's
like,
good. That's
okay.
you picked. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
I wasn't sure.
You're good.
But
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah. I mean, you say, oh, I'd be fine in that world, but...
Once I don't
Once
know,
you
have
gather
played it?
yourself,
Like,
essentially...
Have you guys played it?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it? Or?
I have never played it, but I've seen it, and I don't know enough to combat what you're saying. What you're saying, I'm like, okay, seems reasonable.
I mean, there's some terrifying crap in it and all, but for one, you're being sucked into it knowing what it is. I'm assuming that's the idea, right? Even
to a
if it is
degree,
just-
it's like literally we're sitting here, and then all of a sudden you woke up in that world.
Yeah, because
Like, this was all a dream and you really lived in that world.
Okay, so I'd have to wake up realizing where I was.
Yeah, you'd have to
I couldn't-
realize it. It's not like you prepare yourself like, okay, I'm going to go spend the entire day tomorrow in Silent Hill. No,
Okay.
it happens. Boom.
All right. Well, seeing as that's exactly how it happens to Daniel, I would have a few seconds to kind of take in my surroundings and be like, oh, well, this looks familiar. I seem to have a haunting thing of amnesia, though. What's going... I think I'd be able to take it in enough to keep my wits about... Like, my memory has nothing to do with my composure.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know.
But
I think,
with the
especially-
monster, what does the monster do that makes that game terrifying? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to be like, well, everything you're saying, I'm like, oh, I have to agree with you because I know zero about the game. I just know there's a monster that chases you. Is there any other creatures, or is it just literally one thing that chases you?
There's environmental hazards, I guess. Every now and then something will happen that, freaks you out. But I think it is just the one monster from as far as I've gotten. And I mean, there's some psychological stuff due to his amnesia.
Well,
But-
does the creature open doors? Does it sniff you out? How does this...
It's way more ambient. It's not like he's up in your face for the you need to keep your sanity about you by the gameplay is actually less survival horror and more just kind of more just horror. I guess the game is built around staying near the light, managing resources rather than shooting things and staying alive. So, like you said, you've played it. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's definitely a different type of horror game.
Is it generally terrifying, or is it like pop out scary?
It's more psychological scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some stuff that'll get you it'll get your heart rate up, and not like pop, but constant. You're just like, okay, what do I do next? You got to be thinking.
Is it like a chase? Like you're literally being chased. You have to figure out shit. I gotta go.
Yeah, but it's not like a high speed. It's not you're always being chased. It's like there is something chasing me, and I need to figure out how to stop it. And but you do have to keep moving. If you stay in the dark too long, you will lose your mind and game over.
Did you ever play Eternal Darkness for GameCube?
Yes.
Is it kind of like that where you have like a sanity meter?
Yes.
And as your sanity goes, fucking crazy shit starts happening?
And that was a great game besides the few glitches it had.
Yeah, it was good.
But,
Yeah, I would say it's like that.
Yeah, and just when it comes down to it, my main reasoning is, again, one very, very terrifying experience versus the entire gates of hell running after you. I think...
Well, here's my thing, is like you're surviving, like... Because essentially, like, my pick would
So
be...
yeah, what do you got?
My pick would be Dead Space. Realistically, I know if I went there now and I would, obviously know I'm in Dead Space after, a little bit, I could get a suit, get a gun, and I could literally sit in one room for 24 hours, and I know I won't be attacked. Because there's parts in Dead Space where you could literally just, you're not around necromorphs, you're not around any monsters, you could barricade yourself well enough, because that happens in one of the missions in Dead Space 3. A guy barricades himself, and you find out he's dead because he's starved to death, but he barricades himself and no monsters get to him. You find his corpse and bones. Remember that side mission.
But problem with Dead Space is that everybody dies but Isaac.
That's not true. Homegirl didn't die at the end.
It seems like everybody dies. I mean, if you went there, your chance, if we put the 24-hour limit on it, yes. I think you could survive Doom for 24 hours. You could survive Amnesia for 24 hours. You could survive Dead Space. You probably survive any of the games for 24 hours. But you have to think your chances of surviving Dead Space, everybody is a red shirt in that game.
Yeah, that's true. It's like Game of Thrones. Like, you never know who's going to die.
Yeah,
but someone's going to die eventually.
You would die. I mean, granted, put in the situation long enough, any of us would die in any of the games.
Yeah.
Would you say that's fair?
Yes,
or
and
could
no.
you become the hero of the game?
You could. I
think in Silent Hill, you could become the hero of the game.
Yeah.
Depending, because essentially the story of Silent Hill is whatever bullshit wrong happens to you, you have to essentially fix. You have to fix, what happens, and then you can leave Silent Hill. You beat your part of Silent Hill, essentially.
I know we put Resident Evil down, but nobody really talked about that one. I think that I could survive Left 4 Dead. Because we played out.
No fucking way.
We've talked about so many times surviving the zombie apocalypse. I think I could do it for 24 hours.
And the only special infected. There's no way you're going to beat a tank.
Resident Evil or Left 4 Dead?
Yeah,
because you mentioned both.
Oh, we wrote down Resident Evil, but then
but I would. That's what he was saying.
I think I could survive Left 4 Dead.
Resident Evil, yes. Left 4 Dead, no. I would not want
but
to.
It goes into the same respect.
But I wouldn't be alone, right? I mean, if we're playing by the game world,
You're
I would
sucked
have
into the game world, so
there would be 3 other people there. There would be actually 4 other people there. There'd be 5 of us.
Potentially, yeah.
Left 5 Dead?
I mean, because all those other games you mentioned about one of the most terrifying things is you're alone. You're by yourself.
Yeah.
This, you have other people to rely on, but the combat between the monsters is what's more terrifying than anything.
But I mean, even still, like,
What if we don't encounter a tank? They're very rare.
No way, you always encounter a tank.
I don't even care about the specialty zombies. I'm just the running, terrifying zombie.
I'm in good shape, though.
So are they. They don't have to worry about getting tired. They could literally run at you forever, essentially. There's nothing restricting a zombie at that caliber to not stop chasing you.
But I would be in the world, but not necessarily. I don't have to make it up the flights of stairs and make it to the helicopter. I just got to barricade myself in, get on top of a roof, and stay for 24 hours.
But there's like millions of those things.
If there's special infected, then you got smokers, hunters, boomers.
Yeah. Boomer! And if you're sitting there for 24 hours, all the zombies are going to find out where you're at, and the smokers are going to come.
That's not necessarily true, because essentially for that, if you're quiet enough, you can walk past zombies, walk by witches and all that stuff. It's just when you set off car alarms and when you draw your attention to them.
I think I'm in good enough shape. I could handle a weapon well enough, melee weapon. I think I could handle. I think I could handle a shotgun, or if I get up on a roof and get a sniper rifle. I think, and remember, if I can get up on a roof, these are not the ones that are like ants that pile on top of each other and get up there. They can't do that in Left 4 Dead.
No, and I'm not saying they could, but you have a smoker. If there's another building, he could yank you off.
He could.
A hunter could jump potentially up there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to get puked on by a boomer, but there is potential.
I think if I had the 4 or 5 other people, I could, or 3 other people, 4 other people, I think I could survive for 24 hours.
Let's just say, if I have Isaac Clarke with me, I'm almost positive I could live in Dead Space World and be okay. Carver made it.
If you had Carver, I would give you could survive 24 hours. Isaac Clarke, you might as well just cut your own throat. Anybody next to that guy, he is a walking time bomb.
Not with Carver.
Because Carver's a badass.
That's true. Oh, now you made he's a badass.
All right, so any more about the horror game?
Well, we agreed none of us would want to do Silent Hill, right?
No. Well, I mean, in the same sense, like I said, in Silent Hill, there are literal people that live in the town, even with it changing to shit. They can barricade themselves and survive that part.
They're stupid for not leaving.
What about the world of Last of Us? I mean, we talked about it a little, but
the world of Last of Us, it's almost the same thing in the zombie apocalypse. Like, it wouldn't be hard. I mean, there's dozens of people living in that.
Yeah. As long as you stayed in one of the zones, I mean, you didn't go out near the clickers, I think you'd be fine.
I was about to say, and isn't a lot of these games are focused on long-term survival. If you don't have to go out scouring for resources, if you only have to survive 24 hours.
Well, you want to change it to a week then? You survive a week.
That might be more interesting. Like, I wouldn't want to
7 days. You have 7 days to survive it.
And then
that kind of throws a wrench into it.
Right, but
the armies of hell would destroy you in 7 days.
Yeah, you'd never make 7 days.
It's not a video game, but a good example of the whole barricading thing is I Am Legend.
Oh, such a
Yeah, he knew his boundaries. He knew he couldn't do shit at night. He knew what he had to do, and he lived that shit for like 3-4 years after the apocalypse.
A while, yeah.
Or, I mean, well, fuck, it was longer than that.
He was there a while because the dog was like a puppy, right?
Yep.
And the dog was a full dog. It was
New
several
York
years.
had vines and stuff.
Yeah, there's
going
fucking
on,
lions
yeah.
and shit in the goddamn street.
It depends if you're going I Am Legend book or I Am
I was
Legend
about-
movie.
I was about
Because
to
they are
say-
significantly different.
Yeah, they're not even zombies in the book.
They're not zombies, they're
Vampires.
vampires, essentially.
Yeah.
They're sort of vampires in the movie.
They're
sort
vampires,
of.
that's what I'm saying. They're vampires in the movie. They don't come out at,
I guess.
They're
But,
kind of more
like,
demonic in the movie. I
Yeah.
feel like.
it was really, yeah.
don't get on
and
a
then-
religious kick. They're fucking vampires.
Well, vampires are kind of, you can affiliate religion with vampires too. What is that even?
He's just being a
Shut
dick.
up. I'm just trying to be...
Not Twilight vampires.
Nope.
I can thank God that no one has
There-
mentioned that until just now, so thank you.
What about blade vampires? Those ones aren't religious.
I
You
guess.
can't use
We're-
you can't use holy water on
it's
them.
semantics. It's like,
What if there's a Jewish vampire?
what?
Think about it. Then crosses and all that shit wouldn't work.
So with that, let's talk about some movies. Flashpoint Paradox was amazing.
Thank you.
Oh,
It
shit,
was-
I haven't watched it yet.
What?
I told you,
idiot.
it's
It was
fucking.
Go
It's
ahead.
so good.
It is one of the best.
Spoil it. You have to spoil it. He's had his time. He had his left.
Yeah,
he had
we're-
his Last of Us time. He
I
has
was gonna say, go
everything.
ahead.
So we were spoiling the shit out of Flashpoint Paradox Justice League. It is.
I told you it was.
I think it's one of the best cartoons
I've
made.
ever seen. And
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne is the coolest fucking Batman
Yeah.
ever.
So
Is that good?
yeah, it is
Damn it.
amazing.
It is
Absolutely.
really good.
Yeah, I mean they kill everybody. They kill everybody. Everybody. It's so good. And they just swords through heads, blood everywhere. I mean it is not your kid cartoon.
It really gave me a respect for the Flash. Not to say I didn't respect him anyway, but you just always kind of seemed as he just ran really fast. He can do so much more that you really don't see.
Right.
Like Justice League Doom, you kind of see him do like the quantum tunneling where he shakes through walls and shit
Sure.
like that. But he's awesome, and the way he gets his, because in the paradox, in the alternate universe, he doesn't have his powers. His powers never manifested, so he has to recreate the accident that gave him his powers. He has to strike himself with lightning, essentially,
That's
and
cool.
he fucks up the first time and just catches himself on fire, and Batman has to put him out, and he's like, "Let's try it again."
Yeah, it's funny. So the movie basically is the Flash changes one thing, and we won't spoil it too much.
But you already did, because you just said what happened. You said who created the paradox.
Well, he changes something. I didn't say
know
what.
that.
But
The Flash
it's-
changes something, and it creates a different world. He wakes up, and he no longer has his powers because
Somebody's not there or something.
right.
Or-
So it changes the whole world, and that one little shift makes it so Batman.
Bruce Wayne dies
Instead of the parents.
Okay,
So
I did
Thomas
know
Wayne
that.
becomes Batman, and his mother becomes
Okay,
the Joker.
I know the premise of Flashpoint from
The comics.
Injustice, because there's Flashpoint stuff in Injustice.
Yeah,
the
there's a
comic.
little bit of
So
it.
I looked into like the wiki. It's just been a little while since I
Yeah.
read it. Just kind of forgot.
So all the other stuff is different. Superman, never gets picked up by the Kents.
He lands in New York. Yeah, he lands in New York. He lands somewhere else. He doesn't land in Kansas
Well, there's no New York.
or wherever Metropolis.
Yeah, Metropolis or Star City or wherever. But he lands. He doesn't land with the Kents, and the government gets him. The Joker is actually. Should we spoil that?
I already said it. It was
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne. It was the mom.
The mom becomes the Joker, which is kind of awesome. I
I go and
thought.
spoil stuff.
Yeah, the whole premise, like Lex Luthor's kind of a good guy. They didn't explain it very well, and I guess it's much better in the comics, to where Aquaman cheats on his wife with Wonder Woman, and the Queen tries to combat Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman cuts her head off and takes her crown, and so they go to war, and they're basically destroying the world
As it happened.
as it happens. So
This is the first time I've heard any of this. So
Aquaman
this
is fighting Wonder Woman, like the Amazonians are fighting them, the Atlanteans, and they're battling across the whole planet. It's destroying the planet, and Lex Luthor's like a good guy. He's trying to stop it. Cyborg is trying to help and stuff, and it's really good. It's fantastic. Hal Jordan's not the Green Lantern. He didn't never get the ring.
Yeah, the ring
leaves.
It leaves the planet, like, because the guy doesn't die. He like goes into like they have him in like a stasis.
The purple guy?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but his ring leaves him and takes off back to Oa. Essentially, it leaves the planet.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah,
and Hal Jordan dies like in the first like 5 minutes. You see him; he's only in the movie realistically for 5 minutes. He goes and tries to stop the war between Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and fucking Aquaman destroys him.
Yeah, he's in the special spacecraft, and he has like a missile or whatever, or a nuke, and Aquaman just sends up a giant, underwater beast. It eats the plane, blows up, and it's over. No more Hal Jordan.
No more. Hal Jordan's gone.
Hal Jordan's gone. They kill everybody.
It almost sounds like the story for Injustice.
Yes and no, because it's not. Instead of like his Injustice, it's Superman goes fucking batshit crazy. Superman, like you were saying, is captured by the government and he's put underground.
So he's never been.
He's never exposed to Earth's yellow sun. So he's actually in a room of red light, where red UV light. So he never actually gets powers. He's like a fucking crackhead. He's all skinny.
Yeah.
He's still in his white suit, and like he's like terrified in a corner when they find him.
He looks like Mr. Bean almost. He's tiny. He's little.
Because the Flash was it Barry Allen? That's the right Allen.
Yes.
Right? I was thinking Bart for some reason.
It wasn't.
But Barry Allen, he knows. Like he wakes up because he's from. I say our reality.
Opposed to there.
He's like where Superman. They're like, who's Superman? Like they don't like. Because what he does essentially is he wakes up because he's not a coroner, but he's a forensic scientist, and that's what he was. And he trips and falls, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Because he tried to run and he couldn't. So he knows he doesn't have his powers, and his I'll spoil it if you want. His mom's alive. That's what he changes. His mother died when he was a child. He changes that, and his mom's alive. And by his mom being alive is what fucks up everything. Huh.
Well, they explain a little better, and
sure.
And he's like, they explain it, that time ripple send out, changing just that one thing, sent out all these repercussions, and they explain it through the wormhole that he created. That flux of energy is what changes all these other things, and it just shifts it a tiny little bit. So maybe not necessarily saving the mom, but him just going back in time and changing something. Alters the whole universe.
He's under this impression that it was Zoom being Dr. Throng.
Dr. Throng. Yeah.
The Yellow Flash, whatever you want to call him.
It's his alter ego from the future.
Is that his alter ego? I know.
Basically.
Because I know the guy, he recreates the accent that gave the Flash his heart. But what ends up happening is all this shit's going awry, and he's like, I gotta find Batman. So what he does is he goes to Wayne Manor, and it's fucking it's in complete disarray, and he breaks into the Batcave, and Thomas Wayne fucking almost kills him. He's like, who are you? And that's when he finds out he's in this weird world where everything's different, and they're like, we need to get a hold of Superman, and he's like, who's Superman? And you see Thomas Wayne, when you first see him, he's fighting Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn isn't Harley Quinn. She's like some yo-yo chick. And he's using guns, like he's trying to kill her, essentially. And then Shazam isn't Shazam. They're the Shazam kids. Where each one has a part of Shazam's power, so when they all say Shazam is when they make him.
No, it's Aquaman, right?
No, he fights Wonder Woman. Yeah, it was Wonder Woman he fights.
Wonder Woman fights Shazam, and she kicks his ass.
Yeah, she beats the dog shit out of him.
And then she makes him, she gets the lasso on him, makes him say Shazam, and then she kills the kids.
Yeah, she kills all the kids so he can't change back.
It's brutal, man.
Jesus.
It's brutal. Oh, and then the very end, or not the end, but the end of the battle or whatever, they eventually get Superman, and he gets out, and he gets to the sun, and he starts absorbing power, and he starts getting his powers, but he doesn't know how to control them,
And he starts killing people by accident. He opens his eyes, and he starts cutting people in half.
Not coming in half, vaporizing
Yeah,
them.
he's vaporizing him because it's so strong.
But at the end, Aquaman is about to stab Cyborg in the heart because he ripped open his armor and stuff. Superman comes flying down because he learns how to control his flight or whatever, and he laser beams his arm off. It's the coolest part in the whole movie. He's like, because he's about to stab him with his Triton. It comes on. He's like, ah! And Superman goes, friend, because he doesn't know how to talk either.
It's what happens is when they finally
the big battle happens.
Yeah, this big battle is going to happen, and I'll kind of rewind when they get Superman. They have Cyborg, go into the secret because he can hack anything. He finds out where this Superman is, so they go get Superman out.
Get him out of jail.
Yeah, they break him out of jail, and the second he comes out, he doesn't turn big or anything, but you can tell he's starting to absorb the power because he starts floating and shit like that. And all the government is trying to stop it, so they start attacking Cyborg, Batman, and the Flash, and that's when Superman he doesn't mean to, because they're trying to talk to him, because he's basically an infant, he knows nothing, he barely knows how to walk essentially. And then they're when they explain, because when they walk into the room with all the red light, he's terrified, he scurries off into a corner, and they explain, we're your friends, we're here to help you, and that's where he gets the friend thing from. And he kind of bonds with Cyborg, because Cyborg's the one that picks him up and takes him out.
He's basically the Boy Scout in this, instead of Superman being Boy Scout.
And that's what happens is when he opens his eyes, he starts killing all these people, and he freaks out, and he just takes off into space. And then you don't see him for the rest of the movie until Cyborg's about to die. Then you just see this fucking laser come out and cut off his arm, and then Superman comes down, and he ends up fighting Aquaman, doesn't he?
No. Aquaman runs away, and Wonder Woman comes up and stabs him through the heart, through the back. And then the Atomic...
the Atom or whatever.
Atom or whatever.
I can't remember his name either.
Atom Man is captured by Aquaman, and they turn him in basically a bomb, and he explodes, and it's about ready to destroy the whole world, and that's where Flash outruns it. And
he ends up fighting Zoom, and that's through this whole movie. You think it's Zoom that fucked up the timeline, and what ends up happening is Zoom tells him, "I didn't do anything. You did it all." And that's when the epiphany happens of him changing his, that one thing in time. So he ends up fighting him and beating him or something like that. But Throng...
No, he loses. Throng kicks his ass, and he's laughing. He's like, ha, ha, ha. And Batman comes behind him and goes, boom, 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 and blows the shit out of Throng with his guns.
He shoots him in the head and kills him.
And then he's like, run, fix this so my world never happens. And then because the reason he can't go back and fix it, Flash gets his powers back because they successfully recreate the experiment. But because there's two speedsters, he's drawing from the
Speedster Force.
The Speedster Force or whatever. The Speed Force. And so he can't get enough of it to travel through time. So they got to kill Throng. So once Throng's dead, he can travel. So he outruns the atomic blast. And
it's funny, too, because he gets stabbed in the leg. So he can't run. And Throng's just fucking tearing him up. But Batman shoots him in the head and kills him. And then he starts hobbling. And then
because he's fast healing, he heals.
He can move fast enough where his body will heal. And then he's trying to run, and this nuke is just following behind him, and then that's what happens. He starts running faster and faster and faster, and he almost gets caught by it before he actually shoots off
into time. And then he sees himself in the time tunnel, and he keeps telling himself, "Stop, stop, stop! You can't do this." He sees his other self in the time.
Yeah, he's running so fast at that point. He runs up behind himself before he changes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
And then the Doctor shows up in the TARDIS, and everything's fine.
No,
don't put Doctor Who into that.
Yeah, don't do that.
That would be a fantastic ending.
So it's good, and there's a pretty heart-wrenching moment where Thomas Wayne gave Flash a letter to his son, and so when Flash gets back and fixes everything, he goes to the Batcave, and he said, "I got this from your dad, the other world, or whatever." He gives him this letter, and
Batman cries,
and you see this other side of emotion because he has a letter from his dad, and.
I remember reading about that. There were people mad that Batman cried.
No, man, it really...
You finally see the humanity of Batman.
I think that's the only thing that could make Batman cry.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm surprised they've never done something where Batman travels through time and meets his parents or anything like that.
So the next one is...
Kevin Conroy's Batman in it, by the way, which makes it amazing.
The next one is Injustice War. And it's by the same director, the same writer, same executive producer, and 3 or 4 of the voice actors in this one are going to be in the next one as well. And this one was the 18th cartoon movie of the DC has done.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, you say what you will about the DC movie sucking. They are awesome at the cartoons.
They make fantastic cartoons.
They make fantastic. They could take that ability and transfer it to the live actions. Marvel wouldn't have a prayer. This one is so good.
I really wish they could do... I mean, I'm sure they could. They just probably don't take the time. But, take an actor and then put voices. The iconic voice of Mark Hamill being the Joker. How awesome would that be if they'd have dubbed over a voice in The Dark Knight and you heard Mark Hamill? Because that's the voice everyone usually associates with the Joker. He was in Arkham games. He was the Joker.
All the cartoons.
Yeah, all the cartoons. Kevin Conroy is Batman. That is Batman to me.
He's not the Batman in the new one.
I know, and it pisses me off. But that voice, like, you hear that voice, you know it's Batman.
Yeah.
And how awesome would that be if, Ben Asshole is fucking Batman, but he has, Kevin Conroy's voice? I think that'd be awesome. I'd like to see
It
something.
wouldn't be that unrealistic because, he could be his own voice when he's Bruce Wayne, but when he puts on the cowl, his voice changes. And if you didn't see his mouth really moving that well because it's all dark and shadowy, they could do a voiceover pretty easy. And it
That's
wouldn't
how
look
I feel.
cheesy.
There's an article that was saying they like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
They don't like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Why can't you cast two people?
You can. They were saying you should.
They should.
I don't know. I'm kind of with that hype. I mean, you can't bitch as much about Ben Affleck being Batman as
It's
fucking...
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was better goddamn George Clooney.
Yeah.
Like, really, George Clooney?
That's like Dumb and Dumber.
But
It
George
really
Clooney's a
is.
good Bruce Wayne.
See, I don't see that at all. I don't see him being a good... He's not...
He wasn't charming enough.
I think he's too goddamn pretty.
Well, okay, let me say I didn't like George Clooney, but I'm saying George Clooney as like a rich guy. He plays a good rich guy.
Honestly, like, for me, and I know it's stupid, but Michael Keaton, awesome Batman. He pulled them both off very well. Val
wasn't-
Kilmer, I didn't think was that bad. Yes, it's fucking Val Kilmer,
But the movie was awful, too.
what, the old... Oh, yeah, Batman Forever wasn't that good. But as him being Batman, he wasn't that bad. And I think Christian Bale hit the nail on the head. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
I mean,
I think he's a great
He
Batman.
was kind of douchey at times as Bruce Wayne. When like he was in the restaurant and showing off and
Well, I
getting in
mean,
the
yeah.
fountain and
But that's the thing is, he is two different people.
Yeah.
In his mind, he is Batman. He doesn't consider himself as Bruce Wayne. He is Batman. He puts on the persona as Bruce Wayne.
yeah.
Yeah, so like Superman. He's Superman, and Clark Kent is the
Yeah.
There you go.
alter ego. And like he's Batman, that's his true self. Bruce Wayne is his alter ego. Is his secret identity is Bruce Wayne. You don't agree?
It's not that I agree, but when you put it like that, I just think of it in terms of
It's silly to
furries.
us, but it wouldn't be silly.
That's
Oh, don't you fucking do that. I had an argument with Chris about World of Warcraft and furries. It was...
no. But the way you word it that way, it just there. I mean, because the argument would be that Superman was born Superman. He was born with his powers, and he's putting on the persona of not having them. Batman obviously wasn't born Batman, so he took that on, much like many furries tend to do. Plus, he's a bat. It lines up. It's funny to me.
No furries allowed the podcast.
We also
No
watched-
wrestling or furries.
Wrestling, yes.
I don't like furries.
We're
I'm
moving
just
on.
saying.
Moving on. I watched Batman Year One, and I thought it was awful.
Batman Year One, Gordon one, right?
Yes.
I'm thinking of The Dark Knight Returns.
No, that one's brand new. I haven't seen that one.
The second one fucking was stupid. I'm sorry. Like, as much as people want to jerk that movie off, the second one was dumb.
No, the Batman Year One is basically all about Gordon.
Yeah,
and I really like that.
He was a fucking badass when
He
he
wasn't-
fought that one dude.
Yeah,
and
he is
and
a
he handed
badass.
him a bat. He's like, "You'll need this," and he beats the dog shit out of him. It just, if the movie was called Gordon Year One, it'd probably change your mind. You'd probably change your mind on it.
Yeah, if it had been, they just think they act like this is Year One, like he's becoming Batman. They don't show him train. They don't show him how he gets his stuff. They don't show how he makes his stuff. They don't show him find the Batcave. He is a supporting cast member at best.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more to Year One, Dark Knight Returns, all that stuff in the comics. I thought it was a terrible idea when they announced the movies because there's a lot of information in those comics.
And I thought the style of it wasn't good. I thought the graphics were poor. I literally thought, wow, Batman Year One, this must be like from 1985. It looked that crappy to me.
I didn't think it was that bad.
And I thought it was that bad. Well, I was watching Netflix Instant View, so maybe I didn't have HD quality.
I don't know.
You know,
I didn't
sometimes
think
it flickers between HD
Yeah.
and low D.
I didn't think it was that bad, but the Batman movies I didn't like was The Dark Knight Part 1, The Dark Knight Part 2. Dark Knight Part 1, okay, wasn't too bad. Dark Knight Part 2 was fucking stupid. I hated it. The persona of the Joker was okay. I really didn't like the voice actor that played him, and I didn't like the way Batman was either. I may be biased because I think Kevin Conroy should always voice it, but like he was a fat old Batman. I mean, granted, yeah, he would get old and he would be, frail and couldn't do as much, but it wasn't good.
Did anybody has anybody seen the movie All Superheroes Must Die? It was also known as Versus.
No.
It's a lower budget title movie made by I can't remember his name, the guy that makes it, but he does Trost. I think is his last name, Trost. He does a whole bunch of lower budget stuff, but I actually really liked it. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay. Basically, 4 superheroes they get captured by their arch nemesis, and he takes all their powers away, and they have to save all these people in this town or whatever. He just kind of messes up their world. I thought it was really good, and at the end there's a big twist, and I really enjoyed it. It's very low budget. It's kind of cheesy.
The villain's really a superhero.
It almost feels like it was a high budget YouTube film. It feels a little long at times, but I really like the dynamic of the characters, the way it's shot. It does flashbacks and stuff to when before. It doesn't actually really show them use their powers really at all. It's all about the psychological aspect and them getting through their problems and this and that. And I thought it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's worth checking out. So I won't spoil it or anything. It's definitely a B movie. Okay, get
Netflix?
that. It's not instant view though.
DVD.
Yeah, you have to get the DVD. All superheroes must die. Olympus Has Fallen was fantastic.
Yeah?
It was great. Man, he is a badass in that movie. It's fun. I thought it was great.
I didn't see it. I heard bad stuff about it.
That person lied to you.
Okay.
That person is a moron. It is great.
Do you have to go into it the same thing as Pacific Rim, not expecting a super dramatic, just an action movie?
I thought it was going to... Well, there's the two movies where the White House is taken.
Yeah,
there's White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. The White House Down is Tatum.
Yeah, that
guy.
one looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, and
I wasn't even aware of that.
Jamie Foxx plays as the president. This one is Gerard Butler and Morgan Freeman, although Morgan Freeman isn't the president. So Olympus Has Fallen is basically the Koreans come and they take the White House over, and they want to get our nuke codes and stuff. And I thought it was great. The action is good. It's very fast paced. He's badass.
Is it Red Dawn good?
I thought it was great, yeah. I mean, my wife and I had to pause it twice because she was having so much anxiety because she didn't know what was going to happen to some of the people, some of the characters. She's like, we got to pause it. I got to take a break. Because she loved it. She goes, I was not expecting it to be that good. And I wasn't either. I went into the mindset that this was going to suck because I couldn't remember if it was the White House Down one or the Olympus Has Fallen one, because I heard one was really bad and I heard one was pretty good. I thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely think it's worth a watch. And I've hyped it up now, so you're all going to think it sucks, but...
Yep. I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, he's giving it a lot of credit.
Yeah. You guys watch any movies? You guys watch movies?
I watch Identity.
I watch cartoons, like series. I watch a lot of online stuff. You guys are familiar with Rooster Teeth, I'm sure. Manium, who joined Rooster Teeth a while back to do some of the later seasons of Red vs. Blue, started up a new series relatively recently called Ruby, RWBY. And it's very kind of anime-ish, but it's more fight porn than anything. Like
fight porn?
Internet term. Basically, it's like just amazing constant fighting, and all the slow moments are kind of...
Is it like Queen's Blade? Do you ever see Queen's Blade?
No.
Oh, that's
the exposition is kind of mad, mostly because of the delivery. His animation and his team's animation still is pretty crappy. It's all like almost like a 3D cell shaded.
It's crude.
Yeah, it's the lip sync is horrible. The motions are a little bit over the top, but the fighting is phenomenal. You'll be on like the edge of your seat, like that was the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Is the logo a silhouette of a girl? Okay, I seen a teaser or something for it a while back.
Yeah, and the music's really good.
When you say fighting, I'm an anime fan. Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
I like all that stuff, and I like all the weird side shit too. When it comes to fighting, is it Dragon Ball Z fighting? Is it Rurouni Kenshin fighting? What type of fighting are we talking about?
Okay,
is it a fight of the week like? Next week this and this happens.
No.
Watch this fight.
It's a web series, so it's it's pretty straightforward that way. But it's all 3D animation. I don't know if I said that. So he has this. He took the Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII and revolved the entire weapon system of the story around it. Everyone's got some sort of ranged weapon that turns into a melee weapon. Ruby, the main character, has a huge freaking scythe that turns into a sniper rifle. And they fight these giant mythical-looking scorpion things and falcon, gargantuan animals. And it's all about them... Again, it's very anime, like running up each other's feet and, like Matrix-y type stuff.
Awesome.
And it's badass.
Mindless violence kind of thing?
Well, and again, they try to add exposition and character development.
Right.
Because there's 4 main characters, RWBY. Ruby Rose, the Scythe Sniper. Weiss, she's all dressed in white. It's color-coded. It's kind of cute that way. like
So like
cutesy.
Power Ranger-y?
Not the same like all right let's go like Mighty Morphin thing, but no, yeah. Weiss is very prim and proper, and she fights with a rapier that has like magical properties.
Did you vote for Scorpion or for White Ranger?
I didn't vote. I forgot, but I'm going White Ranger.
Superhero beatdown. They actually, whoever the fans pick is the one that wins on the videos.
Oh, gotcha.
And right now it's White Power Ranger versus Scorpion for the next one.
White Ranger, hands down.
A Scorpion.
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember enough.
Oh wait,
about
Y?
it.
Who's Y?
Who's B? You only got...
Yeah, there's
I thought you said B.
Yeah, no, Weiss, the W again. She's got a rapier that has like magical stuff. It's the coolest freaking thing I've seen. Like, the hilt changes colors, and depending on the color, it has like an elemental property. The rapier will catch on fire or shoot.
Does it
ice
turn
or
into a gun?
No, that's the
Okay.
only one that I've seen so far that's more
Okay.
magical.
I didn't know if it was like gun, because you said gun blade, so I figured everything would turn into a gun and then into a
No,
melee.
yeah, like
or
Ruby's scythe will,
turns
and she can. It'll catch you off guard if you watch it. She'll be like fighting with the scythe, and all of a sudden she'll go to the scythe, and you're like, "Did you just cock her scythe? What?"
Like Lord of the Rings with the axe.
The X.
But then there's Blake. She's the. I don't want to say
they're all female.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Monty big into women. His first animation ever, Haloid, was Master Chief versus Samus, and Master Chief was Master Chick in the end. Spoiler alert, but that was back in 2007, so whatever.
Who's Y?
Yeah, well, I didn't say Blake yet. Her thing is she's got like. Actually, I don't really. Oh, she's got like the whip. She's got like a really long range, free-form weapon. That I don't really know the melee. I guess it's more kind of back and forth with that one. Yang is Ruby's older sister, and she's constantly like sporting like aviators. She's kind of full of herself, ready to go, and she's a pugilist. She's like she fights, but then like another really badass idea is like she's got these gloves, but then you'll hear like a boom and just like forces her fist forward at the force of a gun, you know. So she's punching with the force of a gun, and then she can turn around and like shoot stuff out of her hands or whatever, you know. It's really fun to watch. The exposition's kind of meh, but if you can find all the episodes that are all fighting, then it's fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on to random games of the week, and we'll save some more movies for next time.
Riddle.
Riddick.
Riddick? I thought it was...
Riddle.
Looked like Riddle, my bad.
We're moving on.
L-E. That could be an E. No, I want to hear about Riddick. I
No.
want to hear about Riddick. I won't do my game just for that.
I haven't seen Riddick, so I don't want to hear about it.
I do.
Ditto.
My father watched it. He said it was good. Was it actually good?
No.
Huh?
Was it just he's thrown on the planet, fight in the movie?
Yep. Same old shit.
Same old shit?
Same song and
I
dance.
expect from a Riddick movie.
It's what you expect. It's
See,
what-
I don't- I
it's
need-
the same formula as Pitch Black. They went to that same formula. Almost.
That's how I felt. Like it was like another Pitch Black. But
It's Pitch Black 2.0.
Chronicles of Riddick was a good movie though. Like,
But they do explain what happens to him, of why he gets marooned on the planet.
Yeah.
They have him survive. They have the bounty hunters and the fights and the chase scenes. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and it feels 20 minutes too long. Like they tried to stretch it out too much.
Did anybody else feel like this came out of nowhere? Like, I thought Riddick was kind of done, and then they came out with this all of a sudden.
No, they talked about it for a while.
Oh.
It had some hype to
Yeah,
it.
just-
a little bit.
Missed it.
It wasn't. I thought it would have been bigger because Chronicles of Riddick was so. Like that thing was fucking publicized, but this one wasn't as much. I don't know if Vin
that's what I
Diesel's
mean.
kind of running out on the Riddick thing. I think it's a great character, and they could do a lot with it. I feel like this one was going to be another Pitch Black 2, essentially.
Well, I mean, the world and the lore and everything is very rich with Pitch Black, Chronicles, the two games, the cartoon
I was about to say,
is great.
Okay.
Is the cartoon good?
Yeah, the cartoon's really good. And it serves as a nice gateway between the movies. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Riddick is good. I mean, it has very high production value. You love some of the stuff he does. He's an ultimate badass again. It just follows the exact... There's no surprise, really, again. I guess the two things that ruined it for me. One, it's 20 minutes too long. They drag it out too much. Two, the love element story is a stupid cheesy, and I don't know why it had to be there. It took away from the movie.
He has a love interest in this one?
It's not really. It's super cheesy and stupid, and I don't know why it had to be there.
The romantic tension's just there,
Yes.
like for a plot point.
Yeah, why? It did not add any element whatsoever to the movie. I felt like it took away. It was stupid.
Yeah, I hate it when people do that.
But I mean, you get to see Riddick be a badass again. And I feel like in the beginning they overused his eye thing, where you get to go to Riddick vision, and I feel like it was overused in the beginning of the movie, and then at the end of the movie, when you wanted it to happen, when it seemed like a necessity, it isn't. And, we should have picked him for some of our what-if questions, because that dude can take punishment.
Oh, yeah.
He can take...
In Pitch Black, he fucking snaps both of his shoulders to get over the
That's nothing compared to what he does in this one.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's an ultimate badass.
Does he dislocate bones and shit like that to do certain whatever he has to do?
He's pretty...
Let me have it.
Let him have it.
Let me have it.
No.
Fuck him.
No, I won't
tell
spoil
me.
it. No, it's
you
good.
tell me now.
No.
You tell me now.
So we're moving on to what are you doing?
Tell me.
I'll tell you afterwards.
I want to hear.
We got to drive home.
Okay.
We can cuddle.
Oh, yeah.
So, random game of the week time. I came over to your house, Justin, and you were playing Shadow of the Colossus. Let's go back to that game.
I beat it before, and what it was when you came over is I was showing a buddy of mine, Ron. He never heard of it or played it, and I was just kind of like, "You've never heard of Shadow of Colossus?" And I explained it to him. We were driving earlier that day, and I was like, "Well, I have it. I'll show it to you," because I couldn't explain it well enough to give it justice.
Right.
The game, if most people have, if you've never heard of it, have you played it?
Played it at Game Zone. Never
Jesus
beat it.
Christ.
I've never beaten it either, but I've played a bit of it.
Do you remember the character's name? I remember the character's name.
It's not Ico, right?
No.
That's not the game.
Ico's the sequel.
Yeah.
The unofficial sequel.
Yeah, the spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
Ado!
That's what it was.
We don't remember
the name of the
horse.
horse.
Because it's all... Press X. Ado! Or he whistles.
Ado!
Yeah.
Essentially, the game starts, you're riding a horse, and you have a girl draped over the horse. Basically,
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my. Basically, what it is the girl's dead, and you go to pretty much this shrine to pray to a god and essentially revive her.
Let's put it over there. You're committing mass genocide of these awesome monsters to bring back your bitch.
That's hurtful, because those Colossi are dicks.
Why are they dicks? What do they do? They're roaming around in their field, minding their own business, and you come around, jump up on them, and slap a sword in their head.
That's true. I get it.
You must be really hard up. I mean, there are no other people in the game, so you must be really hard up for some poo-tang.
And that's the thing, is the game, there's nothing. There's birds, a horse, and Colossi.
Do you ever go get all the upgrades and stuff?
Is there upgrades?
Yeah. See, I mean, I don't want to bash the game, because everybody loves Shadow of the Colossus, but I think we jerk it off a little too much. Because it was so unique at the time,
Yeah.
and it came out of left field, and it caught everybody's attention. That's why it gets the praise. But go back and play that game. The horse controls are terrible. The time limits on the Colossi are pretty awful.
There's no time limit. Your grip limit.
Your grip limit. The upgrade system is
Okay,
virtually not. You go around and you kill or you eat like the salamanders or whatever.
What salamanders?
See,
I beat that entire game and never saw a single fucking salamander.
You go to the trees and you get like the apples or whatever, and they up your health. And then you get the salamanders that are crawling around on the buildings or whatever, and they up your stamina.
No way.
Yeah.
I am calling bullshit.
That's the only upgrades there are.
No, because every time you kill a Colossus, your grip gets bigger. I thought that was the only fucking upgrade in the game. I beat that entire game with not a single upgrade.
Listeners, please excuse. I'll look it up on my phone.
Look it up on your phone.
While you do that, I was going to say you're making fun of the fact that he's killing all these colossi. It's not. He's not the asshole. I think it's the deity that's telling him.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the spoil of the game is that the Colossus or Colossi are basically the embodiment pieces of this deity, and he's evil. He's an evil god that was banished, and each one of these pretty much Colossus or Colossi are pretty much the guardians to make sure he doesn't come back. And you, as the guy, destroy them and you bring him back to life, and he ends up essentially taking your body, and then you, at the end of the game, you fucking walk around destroying shit. And what ends up happening is the girl comes back to life, but I don't remember how you sacrifice yourself to not allow him to come back 100%.
They have on Revision 3, they have a Spoiled Games episode of Shadow of the Colossus I was going to watch.
Well, the Colossi are the only enemies. There are natural animals in the environment. Only one species, however, has any effect on gameplay. Eating the tail of a certain lizard increases Wanderer's stamina gauge. Likewise, the player may find fruit to increase Wanderer's maximum health.
I never, ever, ever saw it.
How many times have you beat it?
2, 3?
Twice. I beat it twice.
Yeah.
I try to do a speed run, see how fast I can kill all the Colossus.
Well, then that's definitely
Colossi.
part of
Colossi.
it. If you're not doing like a long run of it, you're probably not going to find it anyways. If you're doing a speed run, you're just
Well, my second time was a speed run.
yeah, and the first time you probably weren't looking for it. So.
No, I knew the game had nothing in it, and I knew it was just the Colossus.
So
Colossi.
his name is Wanderer,
He's Wanderer, yeah.
and the horse's name is actually Aggro.
Aggro? That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and
Aggro?
Aggro was referred to as the male in the English lingo version of the game. The director, Fudumo, said that the Wanderer's horse is female. I don't know.
Like it matters.
Don't get me wrong, Shadow Colossus is a fantastic game.
Because of its uniqueness.
At the time period, and I think that the remastered version is great, and it's still, you can have this wonderful, unique experience with it as its uniqueness. I just think that it gets a little bit too much praise.
Oh, yeah. When Brad explained to me, and I was like, this sounds like a really good game. I played it, and I was like, I see his point. I don't see where it's just epic game that everyone that I spoke to was like, oh my god, it's so fantastic. I'm like, it's good.
I remember that's how I felt
It's
when I
good.
played it. I was like, this is neat. I think I killed one Colossus, and I just didn't. I don't know. I guess it didn't appeal to me that much. I want to replay it though.
It's good. It is really fun. A little fun fact is, the hawks that fly over, you can jump on one and fly with them. It's actually a trophy you can do in the game. I never knew you could do that till Brad, but I'm sorry. I keep
No,
cutting
that's
you
all
off.
right. That's it's funny that you say you weren't big into it. I personally am not big into games with like huge levels of exploration. I would much rather have a linear storytelling than something that's huge and vast and.
That's like
So-
Brad. He's exactly like Brad.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I feel about a lot of
You're
games.
Brad Jr.
Oh, good.
Well, the cool thing about that's the thing for me was he's saying you could do all the stuff. I didn't. Like, you hold your sword up, it points where you got to go. I ran there, killed the Colossus, went to the next one.
But when that came out, that was new. That level of exploration, that open world,
Yeah, that vast world.
was huge. Like
But it's so empty.
doesn't-
I think that's what
that was
took
a-
away from me is that I didn't want to. There was nothing there. For me, there was no point
What to explore?
to explore because there was nothing there.
I think a point to consider now is if it was new today, it wouldn't be empty. I think it was a hardware thing for the PS2.
But they re-released it. Why couldn't they go back and...
that would be changed. They'd make a whole new game. It would cost way too much.
It would
and
bitch.
way too
That's
much.
true.
There was supposed to be 64 Colossi in it, but there wasn't. They cut it in
many
half
are
and then
there?
cut it in half and cut it. I think there's only 8.
That's what I thought.
13, I thought.
I thought it was
I
8.
think there's 13.
Might be 13. I might be wrong,
I
but
can't
I
remember.
know originally.
I haven't played it since PS2, like 2000.
It was on
Whenever it came out.
that Did You Know Gaming. There was supposed to be 64, but they just the game for me to beat it, and I went from Colossi to Colossus to Colossus. I did it in about 10 hours. And some of them are a pain in the ass because you get thrown off from the very top, wait to gain your life back, then climb all the way back up to the top of that bitch.
We're gonna get shit from people, you dumbasses. Shadow of the Colossus is considered a spiritual successor to Ico, not the other
Ico
way
came
around.
first.
Dumbasses.
I was
What?
the thing that I read that it was other way around is that he dies.
Well, then this is wrong.
He dies, and that's because at the end you die, and there's a baby at the fucking end of it. In the beginning of Ico, you start off as the baby with horns.
Maybe
Each
it's a
of the
prequel
Colossus-
like Lufia 2. Maybe it's
Maybe.
put in that way.
And each of the Colossus are unique, right?
Yeah, each one's different.
Each
All
one's different.
64 of those Colossus probably would have been unique.
It's
That would have been
possible.
pretty wild. They need to make a sequel.
Never happened. They've been working on that one game for 10 years.
Prey?
No.
Duke Nukem?
No. The one that has the griffin or whatever, and the boy. And you don't know which one's the protector and which one is the one that needs to be protecting.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't heard it.
I honestly have never heard that.
I think
We've
that-
seen that preview for 100 years. They show it every E3, and we're like, is this game ever coming out? And it's the spiritual successor to Shadow of the Colossus. It's Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and then this one. Come on, people.
You come on.
It's been so long. I honestly... Again, I was big into RPGs and stuff, so when I did finally play...
It's
Shadow of the
16.
Colossus-
There's 16 Colossi.
Okay, 16. I thought it was 13.
But yeah, when I finally played it, it was kind of more of an afterthought, so I didn't really get huge into it. By that time I was probably taking the leap to PC gaming. I think more than anything.
Traitor.
Trader, I still play console games, I just can't afford them.
I play PC games. You got a problem with PC games?
Yes,
PC Master Race.
we have problems with you. Do we want to end it?
Well, that's up to you. What
got-
about...
All right, I played Retro City Rampage on the Vita. I got just the demo, and it's a little fun game that does all these throwbacks to all older games, 80s, 90s. It's top-down view in the beginning, and it's like a very polished 8-bit looking, and you run around kind of like Grand Theft Auto. And there are certain parts where you have to do this bank robbery, and the guy's like, we got to get a Ray, let's go down to the escape pipes, and you jump in a pipe like Mario would, and then you go into a 2D side-scroller like Mario, and you jump on blocks and stuff, and then you climb back up, and it's top-down view like the original Grand Theft Auto. And it's fun. It's on sale for PlayStation Plus members for $8.99, and when you buy it, you get the Vita version, and you get the PS3 version, so you can play it on both, and you can be on one and get so far in the game and then transfer it over and play on your PS3. So like I can play on my PS3 and then take my Vita to work, play a little further and come back, and my progression follows over, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
It has a lot of things. The dog from Duck Hunt's in there, and he laughs at you and stuff. You steal the time machine from Bill and Ted, and you break it because you don't know how to use it.
I guess there was a Bill and Ted game, so...
Yeah, and you break it, and then Doc Brown shows up in the DeLorean, and he's like, you broke your time machine. He goes, well, we can fix it. He goes, we just got to find the parts. And then you go on kind of a fetch quest, and you got to get all these parts and stuff. It's funny. And he's like, well, you can stay here for the night. And so you go to sleep, and you wake up, or you go to sleep, and the game wakes up, and the game doesn't wake up. The game moves you into his dream sequence, and you're in God mode, and you just go around destroying everything on a rampage. And you're in top-down view like the old Grand Theft Auto games, and you're just running around, running over people and destroying cops. Nice. And you have a Z meter, and it's basically instead of your health meter, it's a Z meter, and it's slowly going down because you're about ready to wake up. And you get a high score. There are weapons for it, all kinds of missions. Try the demo. I mean,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, the guy made it. It was going to be basically a remake for an 8-bit game of all the stuff, and it morphed, and he got more money, and then I guess he couldn't make it the way he wanted it to, so the game changed into being its own unique game. And I guess when it came out, it didn't do very well, but it's a lot of fun. As I said, it throws a lot of throwbacks to the old stuff from like the 80s and 90s and everything. Oh, and there's a part where you play as a Frogger. So it goes back even actually to Atari, where you're getting away and you have to cross the street, and it's funny because because you're like a henchman, and the boss guy goes, get over there and turn off the power, blah, 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 we got to get across the street. And he's like, boss, there's all these speeding buses, I'll never make it. And he goes, here, take these shoes I sold from this little fairy boy, and he hands you the speed shoes from Link, and you can run super fast then because you're kind of slow. He goes, well, wait a minute, what if I get one of those buses? He goes, well, you better dodge him. He goes, look at that poor frog, it couldn't dodge the buses. And so you have to dodge the buses to get across the thing, so like you're playing Frogger basically. Nice. And I only played the demo, and I saw all of this in like the hour demo.
Nice.
I think, with the actual game, with all the throwback and nods, there could be a lot more nostalgia. So I'm probably going to buy it for $8.99, and I'll have more to talk about then on Retro City Rampage. Did you find out what the other game is called? Did you even look?
I'm looking up the Shadow of Colossus Ico. Which one comes first?
I hate you. All right, we're almost at 2 hours. Anything else, gents?
No, I didn't realize we were that far.
Yeah, our 30 minutes of listening to crap has been an hour of crap.
Well, yeah.
That's okay.
And we forgot to talk about how awesome it is when Flash moves in Flashpoint Paradox. At the very end, well, when you talked about the movement and stuff in the Ruby game or whatever, it reminded me of it because the way that they do the Flash, if they do it in the movie or the TV series that they're going to make, he literally like runs up the side of buildings and then he's running across rooftops because he's running so fast he can like jump. And then one point he gets and he's like, oh crap, he's too far. But then he runs over and he jumps on a helicopter and he runs across the helicopter blades because he's moving so fast and it's moving slow and it gets to the next building. It's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
Well, I guess next time we'll do some more. We'll do some more next time.
Yeah. I'm reading a lot of mixed reviews on this. I think it's all about basically opinions.
Of what?
The Shadow of Colossus Ico thing.
Which is first?
Well, not in what was made first, but the way that the story goes. I know which one was made first. I think it was Ico, wasn't it? Was made first? Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Ico is first.
No, I'm saying like the story. The story is what I'm saying. Like, they say that Shadow of the Colossus, story-wise, is years and years, different. In the Horned Child, or the child that's born at the end of it, if I remember correctly, is that child, or there's some weird relation to it.
Well, thank you for gentlemen showing up. Thank you for being our special guest this evening, Eric the Red. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, please visit our Facebook page. Like us there. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Twat us, all that fun stuff. And check out the website. It should be back up and running as soon as we take care of that business. Blaine Jacob.
Awful.
All my work gone to waste.
Say goodnight, guys.
Bye.